Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive.
I'm so great, I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell. What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. It's over, folks. It's all over. Everything. I had allies that have turned into enemies. Everything is flipped. Everything is upside down. Everything is Koyaanisqatsi. You hear me? That's right. It's not. That's not true. Some of it's true. Look, I love my wife, right? You guys love my wife. We all love my wife. But I don't need to get unleashed upon. I don't need that to happen. I didn't do a fucking thing. Oh, never mind. Here's my favorite line of my wife's over the past week. This happened. I won't go into why. It was, look, you're married, or you have a girlfriend, or you have somebody, and something happens, and wackiness ensues, and you know what the fuck to do with your life. All right, that happens. But something happened. Again, it was small, something tiny. I didn't know what the fuck it was. But I made a crack, of course, because that's what I do, folks. I'm a smart-ass motherfucker, and you know that. We all know that. And my wife looked at me, and she goes, "Are you going to put that in your bit book?" I said, "Pardon me?" She goes, "Your bit book, your little notebook there, so you can remember to talk about it on your show." Venom dripping out of her fucking mouth on the word show. And I actually laughed. Actually, that's pretty funny. Like, a bit book, that's a funny thing to call it. I never even thought about that. And she's like, "Yeah, your bit book." Just furious. Storms off. God damn it. Look, I recognize when you hate me, all right? I know when you hate me. We've been together 20 years. I recognize when you don't like what I'm doing, or you don't agree with me, or whatever the fuck. Don't think you're dripping honey out of your mouth and you're getting away with it. You're not. I get it, all right? If anything, I think everything you fucking say is toward how much you hate me. That's how hyper fucking screwed my head is. Everything you say is some horrible thing that's meant for me. I misinterpret and read everything as if it was meant to tell me to fuck off. You get that, right? You've been with me 20 years. You know I have this fucking persecution complex. Fuck, you see the cross I carry with me. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Hi. This is going to be a bitch fest and then a clip. That's what this show is today. Because I got nothing for you. I have done nothing. I haven't lived life. Look, my bit book is empty. I just stared at it. There's nothing in my bit book to bring to you folks. I have nothing accomplished. I got home from Kansas City. I did a show last week, and then I fucking lived life and tried to dig myself out of the fucking horseshit I've piled all over myself. God damn it. What was I going to tell you last week? It's so funny. I'll do the show, like in Kansas City, I did the show and it's live, and so I talk. And then after the fact, I always say to people, I go, "Look, you don't have to listen to next week's show now because you basically heard it." So this dude, Ryan, wrote me and he's like, "Wow, you weren't kidding about not having to listen to this week's show. I mean, it was pretty much word for word." And I'm like, I did a 3 fucking hour podcast, motherfucker. It was not word for fucking word. In fact, there's shit I forgot because other people wrote me and said, "Hey, you should have mentioned those people who tried to get in free and you wouldn't let them, and then you would let them." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." So guess what, Ryan? Not word for fucking word. Pretty goddamn close. Other than, I don't know, the hour of comedy before my recap of Kansas City last week. I don't even know why I put up with you people. I don't. It's never enough. You're tearing me apart. Jesus, you're not. It's not your fault, folks. It's not your fault. I've painted myself into this corner. I could have started a fucking movie review podcast. I could have done that. I could have done something where I talked to 9 of my friends around a table and never had to say a fucking word. I could have done that. Instead, I decided it would be better if I showed up with just me and a microphone. And then I tried to make people like it. That's even worse. You know what? I should have just done this show into the tank. Like, I should have drove this fucking show into a wall right from the jump, and nobody would be with me. Nobody would care. I'd be talking to a fucking into the ether. And then it would just be me. And then it would literally be me in my car. Like normally. This is what I do in my car is I talk out loud to myself. But instead now I've decided to record it and put it out to you fine folks who then write me notes and go, "That was wrong. I think you used a gerund incorrectly." Fuck off. God damn it. Oh, Jesus. I don't understand why anybody in the world even thinks that anybody should respect them. Ever. I don't get it. Why? I had to cancel my shirt order, folks. I talked about t-shirts last week. I had to cancel it. Because here's what happened. I called those motherfuckers and I'm like, hey, trying to touch base on the shirts. And I told you all last week what was happening, right? Well, then I got an email. He didn't contact me. And then I got an email the next morning and he's like, hey, here's the terrible news. Well, he didn't say the terrible news. He goes, here's the bad news. I've been assured that I can get you your shirts. The earliest on your doorstep is Wednesday, June 27th, the morning of. I guarantee they'll be there in the morning. Oh, good. Thanks. Do you think my plane will be able to swoop by and I'll grab them off the truck, motherfucker? But he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm really sorry. This is my fault. I apologize. And so I called him and I'm like, dude, you're really fucking me here, man. I mean, I tried. You were supposed to be having by the 5th, the 12th. Then you said they'd be in production on the 15th. You didn't put the order in. You guys know, listen to last week's show. You heard me fucking recap it. So I was as nice as I possibly could with bass in my voice. Actually, before I called him, I called Lily. And I said, look, I need to know what to do here. I said, I got to cancel this, right? What the fuck do I need to do? And she's like, no. She goes, you tell them to ship them separately and pay for all the shipping. If they'll do it and save you money, then go ahead and let them do that. Why would you just you've put all this work into it up to this point. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Just fucking make them jump through some hoops. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I called him and I said, look, man, you're putting me through the ringer here. He's like, yeah, I totally get it. I'm real sorry. Yeah, it's our fault in production. And I love the fact that he keeps trying to assuage me by going, look, it's nothing you did. Yeah, I know it's nothing I did. Believe me, there's not an inkling of an iota of a glimmer of anything in my fucking head that makes me think, could this possibly be my fault? No, it's not my fault. I sent in my order. I made calls. I've done everything I possibly can to make sure this went smoothly. It's not the problem on my fucking end. So he keeps telling me it's nothing you did. It's our fault. I apologize. I go, well, you're really fucking hammering me here. And he said, the thing is, I can get them to you, like I said, on the 26th. He goes, but you had mentioned that maybe we could ship the shirts to Toronto for you to meet you there. So I could do that. I said, well, I said, dude, I cannot get 100 shirts to Toronto, or 150, whatever the fuck I ordered. 100, I think it was 100. I said, I can't get 100 shirts sent to Toronto because then even if I sell fucking 20, I got to bring 80 shirts back with me. That means I got to buy a fucking suitcase and check that, and then I got to pay for that fucking bag. I go, that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, well, no. He goes, I can send some to LA and then whatever you tell me you need to Toronto, and you won't pay for any of the shipping. He goes, we'll take care of the shipping. We'll eat the shipping on it. And that sounded fair to me. I'm like, all right, you'll eat the shipping to Toronto, you eat the shipping to LA, fine. And he's like, all right, great. You know what? Let me talk to production and figure out again. Production. I don't know who production is. Again, it's him. He has a mirror. He has a mirror that he turns his head to, and he puts a different hat on, and he talks to himself as a production dude. He's like, let me talk to production and get that straightened out. I said, fine. I got to call the hotel in Toronto and make sure I can get a package there. Because I don't know how they're doing with international shipping. I don't want them to think a bomb showed up. So I got to fucking call them, tell them I'm expecting something, and then I'll figure out how many we're going to split the order into. He said, fine. So I hang up, call I almost said the name of the hotel. I call the hotel in Toronto where I'm staying. You folks don't want to know. Actually, one of you knows. My friend Michael is picking me up at the airport. He needs to know where I'm going. Although maybe I should just have him drop me off at a corner. Just drive me up at a corner in downtown Toronto and I'll find my way. So I called the hotel and they could not have been happier and more nice. I talked to the head moose in charge there, whoever works at the hotel in Toronto. It was some hockey player, I think. I couldn't tell. He had no teeth in his mouth. He was just lisping a lot. So I talked to him. He was in charge. Actually, you know what? I talked to Alex Lifeson. He was working at the hotel. That is my entire perception of Canada. It's hockey players, moose, and the three guys from Rush. That's it. Or you know what? I apologize. Rick Emmett. And is it Gil Levine? I don't know. I can never remember the guys in Triumph except for Rick Emmett. So yeah, that's who's in fucking Canada. And Danko Jones. He's a new addition to my Canadian fantasy. If I was to draw a Canadian Sgt. Pepper, it would just be like the Toronto Maple Leafs, a moose, and Rush. That's all it would be on the cover of the album. And Danko Jones, he's been thrown into. I got to throw him in. And I, like I just said, the guys from Triumph. It's Rick Emmett, and it would just be two blank faces. It would, you know what it would be? It would be two smiley faces, which is this. And this is so fucking true. I can't. I'm not even making this up. When I went to high school, I went to Bolingbrook High School in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and I don't remember what year it was. It was one of my years in high school, one of the many. In the yearbook one year, I don't even know who thought of this, but honestly, now 30 years later, it's the funniest fucking thing in the world. I don't know what they thought at the time that it was funny, or if it was just a placeholder. I have no clue. But when you see it now, you go, who the fuck would do that? And it's so absurd. It's so great. And to me, it holds up 30 years later. I think it's even funnier now. For some reason. I don't know why. You know how in the yearbook, they've got fucking badminton and fucking football and, home ec and the Daughters of the American Revolution and whoever the fuck else poses for pictures. And there's Sarah Jabril in all of them. I think Sarah Jabril is actually only in the Daughters of the American Revolution. What is it? The Sons of Katie Elder? What the fuck? I don't even know what it was in the book. There's some group. I don't know who the fuck it is. There's some crazy group. Badminton, football, basketball, art club, debate. No, we didn't have a debate team. Actually, the debate team was just me and teachers. That was the debate team. And I would win some and I would lose some, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the sparring. I enjoyed the parry and the thrusting. It's the only thrusting I got to do in high school. So I'm in the yearbook, as you page through. Then you get to the blocks of people. You know what I mean? Where it's they've got all the people in the school and the activities, but then it'll say freshmen, and then it's all the freshmen. And fuck if I can remember what year it was. But they're alphabetical, and there's Eddie Bridges looking so dapper, and then you're going through, and then you're looking at names, and I don't know why this happened. It had to be just for a placeholder for rows. You know how those people are all in rows? And it's funny I would use the word rows, but this is true. In the book, under sophomores, one of the years, there was a picture, and it was a person. It was their body, but superimposed over their body was just a smiley face, like the old school yellow like smiley face, but hand drawn. And that person's name was Raider Joe, because we were the Bolingbrook Raiders. And elsewhere in the book, like in the juniors, I think it was a woman with the same superimposed smiley face, and it just said Raider Rose. I don't know who they are. I don't know why they're in the book. I don't know who thought it would be a good idea. The yearbook committee or somebody just shoved them in. And again, it had to be a balancing issue, because you don't want your book to get top heavy. If you're missing one square in the sophomores, the whole thing's going to come down, folks. You've built a yearbook. You know what it's like. The whole thing's a pyramid scheme. You got to have a proper base. Well, if you got to put a Raider Joe and a Raider Rose into the base to make sure that your Mary Bailings and your Michelle Dwanches don't tumble to the ground. We can't have that. It is. You don't want to see a Rusty Shelton laying on the ground with the two Blumenstein sisters on top of him. That's Barb and Sue Blumenstein. You can't have them on top of Rusty Shelton. You don't want to see Julian Fowler in a heap. You need to put a Raider Joe and a Raider Rose right there on the bottom row, for fuck's sake. You can't have a Dave Sheets fall down and get glass in his ass. You don't want that to happen. That happened to Dave Sheets at our senior year picnic. Sad that I would say Dave Sheets is a grown man. He's a grown man now. And yet I'm going to tell this story. At senior year picnic, which I was not allowed at because unfortunately I had been suspended. At senior year picnic, they were sliding down. It might have been senior ditch day. I don't know if it was senior picnic or senior ditch day, but they were sliding down these hills. You would just slide like, on a blanket or whatever, toboggan style. I don't know. And Dave Sheets got glass in his ass. Like he rolled over some broken glass and it went into his ass. So take that, Dave. You have children who are grown up now. I tell that story for no reason. It's not even a story. It's an anecdote. And I wasn't even there. Why am I even telling it? It might not even happened. This guy might not even exist. Glass hasn't even been invented by the time I tell this story. What the fuck? This story goes nowhere. Actually, it was Raider Dave. Raider Dave was the one who got glass in his ass. And they drew a smiley face with a frown. Turned it upside down. But how genius is that? You're putting together the yearbook, you put in a Raider Joe and a Raider Rose, and you don't ever qualify or explain why. There's no explanation, and their names are in there. Raider Joe. That's all it says. I went to that school 5 years, never met Raider Joe once, never saw him. Nor Raider Rose. You got to assume they dated, right? Raider Joe and Raider Rose? They were perfect for one another. Oh, you think they're brother and sister? Bullshit. Even so. Who cares? If you look like that, that's it. Yeah, you got to fucking go at it. And they got some misformed Raider baby with this fucking blockhead. He's got just like a square head with like a squirmy mouth. Oh, awful. Raider Joe and Raider Rose, brother sister, banging out a little kid. All right, so how the fuck did I get into that? I don't know either. God damn it. Yeah, really. I really don't know how the fuck I got there.
Canada. Calling Canada.
Oh yeah, Canada.
The picture of Canada.
The photo of Canada. What photo of Canada? Oh, the Sergeant Pepper of Canada. God damn it. Folks, I'll tell you what. I am fucking great. All right. No matter how many times you write me to complain about how not great I am, I don't care. Type it all you want. Type how not great I am and send it to me. I don't care. I will continually prove you wrong every week by coming in here and being great once. So I called the hotel and they're like, "Yeah, man, awesome. We'll go ahead and I don't know if they said that. They weren't. I didn't have Spicoli at the hotel. Toronto Spicoli. Get out of here, Curtis. I don't hear you unless you knock, eh? All I need are some tasty waves, cool buds, and maple syrup. Eh? Oh, hey, there's no Boxing Day party for me here. Fucking Boxing Day. Holy shit, I'm great. Relax, all right? My old man's a hockey skate repairman. He's got the ultimate set of tools. I can fix it, eh?
Oh my god.
Oh, Canadian Spicoli's my favorite new character. Holy shit. Can I use your bathroom? All right, Hamilton, Ontario. Canadian Spicoli's the greatest invention. It's the greatest invention my mind has ever come up with. Canadian Spicoli. All right, Hamilton, Ontario. Honestly, if you don't tell everybody you know that I'm the funniest guy in the world after that, cue the people writing me, "You're not as funny as you think you are. You realize that. And every time you say how funny you are, shut the fuck up." Yes, I am. On the fly, I came up with, "There's no Boxing Day party for me here." All right, Hamilton, Ontario. Do you think I sat at home and scripted out Canadian Spicoli? No. No one's that stupid. All right. He goes on the Sgt. Pepper cover. Canadian Spicoli goes on the Sgt. Pepper cover. All right. Right. There's Triumph with the two dudes. That's what it was. The two dudes from Triumph have the smiley. All right. That's now, folks. We're unlocking this show. We're peeling the onion that is this show. Getting to the center. All right. There's a clip coming up later. Stick around. It's going to be great. So I call Canada. They tell me everything's fine. They say everything's awesome, as I mentioned. And so I hang up the phone and I set out to do the hard work of the math, figuring out what shirts I need in Canada. Because again, there's red shirts, there's black shirts, and I want to bring a nice cross mix. I don't know who wants what. I got to bring sizes. And it's just such a fucking hassle. All right. Because here's why. Canadian shirts, when people buy them from Canada, I have to ship them. And again, they have to go by Santa. So, I mean, it costs fucking for so much money. It's ridiculous. Case in point, let's divert to this real quick. If you are one of the Kickstarter donators from last year, 1 million years ago, you're done. We're done. Kickstarter's finished. Everything for Kickstarter has been sent. Everything has been mailed. Everything is on its way. You will either receive it. If you haven't received it by the time you hear my voice, it is going to be there in the next couple days. I shipped the last two just before I came into the show today to our friends Chris Woods and Jeff Wasson, who donated to Kickstarter. They're in Canada, and I had to ship them their CDs and shirts from Boston. $26 each to ship them their shirts. So that will give you an idea of what it costs when I'm sending stuff to Canada. Now, look, is that my fault because I put it in a priority envelope and I shipped it to them priority? Yes, it is. But because I wanted to get to them as quickly as I possibly can. Because even the guy, Sterling, the fucking dude at the post office is like, if you switch it to this envelope, it's only $13. I go, look, I don't want to tear this open. It's already put up. There's a label. I filled out the customs forms. He goes, well, this requires different customs forms. I go, fuck it. Just leave it in there. He goes, if you put it in your own envelope, it's $5. And I said, yeah, I'm aware of that. But you know what? If these people are getting shirts, that means they donated at least 50. Okay? So if you donated $50 and I got to pay half it for shipping, what the fuck? I have to. It's fine. Unfortunately, the real problem is when other people just buy shirts from Canada. So, I charge $10 for international shipping, because as like I said, it's 12. I mean, because I'm not going to send it in my own envelope. That just seems ridiculous because that's just going to get lost. Someone asked me, they said they didn't receive something, and I swear to God I sent it. But again, I insure everything, but then I have the stack, and I'm just like, fuck, I'll just send them a new thing. It's awful. It's just, I'm bad at this. So the bottom line is all the Kickstarter stuff has been taken care of, and our friends Chris Woods and Jeff Watson were the last two. Everybody else, watch your mail, watch the skies, see if Santa comes by and drops packages in your fucking yard. Not everyone's from Canada. Also, our friend Amity, if you're listening to this, your frame is coming. Everything's coming. My obligations are finished as far as Kickstarter, folks. The shows are done. Prizes have been sent. Well, except for one. Our friends Seth and Brandy in Florida, who brought me to New York. They are still waiting on theirs. They got their shirts. They picked them up in Atlanta. They just need their caricatures, but that's a holdup at Mike Schmidt Inc. Our friend David has been bogged down with real life, so he has to get to those. And then when he does, everything will be fine. The fuck was I talking about? Canada. So I hung up to do the math on the shirts, and my phone rang, and I saw the number. And look, I don't answer my home phone ever, just so you know. I never answer my home phone. I'll look at the caller ID and I'll laugh to myself, and then I'll just do my fucking work. And if they want to leave a message, they can. So I look and I see, but I notice I know this number. It's because I see the area code. I know where it's from. It's absolutely the shirt company. So I pick it up, and hey, Mike, it's Greg. And I go, hey, Greg, I just got off the phone at my hotel in Toronto. Everything seems to be fine over there. I'm just figuring out the numbers. He goes, well, yeah. I talked to production, and any shipping to Canada takes 2 weeks. I said, what do you mean? He goes, anything we would send. He goes, even we send it the highest priority possible. Because of customs, it takes 2 weeks. I go, you can't just overnight it? And he's like, no, not with customs. So what I can do for you is just send them to LA, and then you'll have them there. And I said, Greg, you're killing me, dude. You're just killing me. I said, here's why. Because if people from Canada, now it would have been $20 live. Now it will be $30 to $35. So I'm asking them to mark it up by almost 100%. And then I have to not only do that, but I have to then mail them. I have to get envelopes. I have to go to the fucking... you're just costing me time and money here. You're costing other people money. Fuck that. You're costing me money. Because I couldn't bring the shirts to Kansas City. And now I can't bring the shirts to Toronto. The month of Mike in the summer of Christine is ending this week. And 2 of the weeks in the month of Mike, I didn't get to sell fucking shirts. So I said to him, I go, you're killing me, man. And I left it open. I let it hang in the air there for him to say, we'll knock $200 off your order. Or, I'm sorry, we got off on the wrong foot. We really want to do business with you. I'm not going to ask or plead for that. They need to step up and say, well, look, we will eat the cost and this other stuff. So I said, you're killing me here, dude. I go, you understand it would cost me all this other money to ship to Canada. And the whole point was bringing them to Canada so I could sell them. And he just says, yeah, I understand. I'm really sorry about that. He goes, I can tell you that, I go, and also, I don't know what the shirts look like. I've never met you. I got a referral for you. So I don't know what kind of work you do. I haven't seen the shirts. You were going to send me a picture of the shirt. He goes, well, we sent you the mock-ups of what they would look like. I go, that doesn't matter. That's a cartoon of what it's supposed to look like. It doesn't tell me what it looks like. I go, you got to understand, again, I'm 3,000 miles away from you, trusting you to do this. And now this is the 3rd time something bad has happened. And he's like, well, I can tell you right now, they would look fantastic. We would do fantastic work. I said, yes. Unfortunately, it's all of the surrounding bullshit around the work you would do on the shirt that's leading me down this path. And he goes, I don't blame you. I understand. It's nothing you did. I know it's nothing I did, Greg. I know. I got to cancel this order. I don't blame you. I totally understand. This is my fault. I absolutely dropped the ball. It's nothing you did. Oh, thanks again for that. I appreciate you assuring me yet again after I've canceled the order that it's nothing I did. Yeah, so Mike, we will keep your artwork on file, and if you ever want to do business with us again, you just call us. You know what I mean? It's I do apologize. But here's the thing that cracks me up about it, too. That means that the shirts still weren't in production. When he assured me they'd be in production on June 15th when I was in Kansas City, I'm now talking to him on the 19th. And they're not, he's okay to just cancel the order because they haven't even started fucking printing them yet. If you would have started them on the 15th, would they have been done in time for you to ship them to me at my fucking house? Maybe. I don't get it, folks. I don't understand why people purport to do things and then don't do them. I don't know why it's so goddamn hard to give away money. Everybody needs money, don't they? I mean, doesn't everybody need a job or cash? I call people trying to give them money and none of them want it. Try to rent theaters. They don't return phone calls. They don't rent their theater. Like that's the thing that kills me. There's some theater in Detroit that we don't rent our theater out. We do our own productions. Well, you're dark for a month. Wouldn't you like me to pay your rent? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not asking you to have you're not endorsing me by having me in your building. If anything, you could write, "We don't endorse this show. Come see it." This guy blows. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to tap into your goddamn audience. Dude, what the fuck? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know I'm never going to go anywhere. And then I come on here and I burn everything to the fucking ground and it helps nobody. Nobody. Fucking Toronto. I'm in Toronto this week. Come see me, folks. Buy tickets, folks. If you're hearing this, tickets are still on sale. Tickets are on sale online until Friday morning. And then after that, there will be walk-up, certainly. I'm excited about this place because this is a cool, I've heard great things. They put big names in this joint. I was able to rent it. Now, you remember, folks, when I rented this place, when I first called them, they were very responsive right away, which was great. It was hard. We played hide and seek a lot. But they said, hey, we'd like to rent to you, but I couldn't get them on the phone to clarify anything, a date. But it took a while. And then when I finally did get them on the phone, it was fine. But I talked to this dude there for like 40 minutes on the phone. And this is the guy who, when I was negotiating and figuring out when the show, I told him that the show was 3 hours long, and he practically fainted dead away up there in Canada. They had to come in and put snow in his face to revive him. He just goes, 3 hours? I said, yeah. And he goes, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that sounds terrible. Why would you do 3 hours? And I was put on my heels a little bit, folks, because I'm not used to having to defend what I do to people who've never seen it, especially when I'm offering them money for their venue. And look, I understand the hitch in his giddy up. I mean, yeah, it's long. It's long. It's too long. I get that. But I've painted myself in the corner where if I don't do the long show, now people go, why the fuck didn't we get the long show? So I have to try to get myself out of that loop. But also, I was coming to Canada, and I actually was talking to him about doing 2 nights in Canada and doing a different show each night. I had all these grandiose ideas, all these different things, and he and I talked. We batted it back and forth. We decided that one date would be enough. And if I came back again, maybe I'd do 2 shows. But he could not believe the 3-hour thing, whatever. So we booked the date, and I said, I want the show to start at 8 o'clock. He's like, all right, if you start at 8 o'clock, you got to be out there by 10:30, 10:45. If you want 3 hours, you can start at 7:30. Which that doesn't make any sense to me, but that's fine. So then people started to write me, and they're like, hey, dude, you need to check the website because it says you have a 7:30 show, and there's a show after you. And that show starts at 10:30. Well, even if I started at 7:30 and did a 3-hour show, when are they going to seat the people for the late show? You know what I mean? It just didn't make any sense. I don't want, because I do the meet and greet too. That's the thing, is I meet people, I hang out, shake hands, and we take pictures. If I'm renting the room, I'm renting it for the night. And all of this was covered when I talked to him, I thought. So I sent an email this past week. I sent a couple, and just like, hey, just trying to touch base, because I have the emails still that said I was starting at 8, and I had to be done by 10:45, all those things. So I wrote him and I said, hey, as you'll see from the connected emails, I'm supposed to start at 8. I've been selling tickets for an 8 o'clock start. You said to be done by 10:45, but now there's a show at 10:30. I don't know how that affects my out time. Wondering about tech in front of the house and all that stuff. And he finally wrote me back today, And it was very matter of fact. And he's like, hey, I told you if you want 3 hours, you got to start at 7:30. If you want to start at 8 o'clock and be done by 10:45, that's fine too. The show after you is an improv show. It takes 10 minutes to turn around the room. And starting late is not a problem. So that's good news. And then he writes, because I wrote, looking forward to meeting you this weekend. And he actually wrote in his email, looking forward to it as well. Can't wait to see what 3 hours of straight comedy looks like. Now, that sounds like a guy who doubts me, right? That sounds like a guy who doesn't think that, A, I'm funny, doesn't think that I'm going to be on stage for that long, doesn't think that I can handle it, he thinks that I'm lying. He actually sounds like, dude, I'm paying him to rent his fucking room, and he thinks I'm lying? Is that what it is? And again, he could have meant it in a lighthearted way, because I talked to my friend Lily Von Stupp, but I said to her, you're not going to believe what this guy wrote to me. And I read it to her, and she goes, you know what, he could have been saying, I'm excited to see what a 3-hour comedy show looks like. I'm like, no, he is not writing that. He is absolutely not writing that. And fuck it, I'm going to read it because I got to make sure I said it correctly. I need to make sure I said it because I don't want to, because all of a sudden, I don't want to make it too sound sarcastic. I'll just read it straight and you guys tell me what it sounds like to you. Because I'm telling you, it sounds to me like, all right, here's all he wrote. This is the last thing he wrote on the thing, because I wrote blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom I wrote, let me know when we're at where we're at on these issues whenever you can. Really looking forward to Friday. Thanks. And then at the end of his, he said, I am also looking forward to Friday. Period. I want to see what 3 hours of straight comedy looks like. That's a challenge, right? That's a fucking line in the snow. I would have said sand, but you don't have any fucking sand up there in Canada. That's a line in the snow, motherfucker. And look, I'm not calling him motherfucker. I'm going to his venue. I'm sure he's a good guy. I shouldn't be burning this to the fucking ground until, of course, next week's show. But I got that email just before I came here to record, and it was just it was like he reached through the screen and punched me in the face. I know that sounds stupid, or slapped me, or just challenged me. It's just, dude, I'm not lying. I mean, people, it was 3 hours and 20 minutes in Kansas City. It was 3 hours and 35 minutes in Atlanta. And now in my head, this is who I am as a person. Now in my head, I've got to make sure it's 3 hours. Like even if I did 2 hours and 45 minutes, I don't want to give him the satisfaction of going, well, I guess it really wasn't 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like I in my head, I have to make sure, because I actually said to myself, I go, well, from 8 to 10:45, that's 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's cool. And I'll make it work. I'll figure it out. But after I got that email, now I want to do 3 hours and 45 fucking minutes. Now I don't ever want to get off his fucking stage. You know what? Make that fucking improv group that goes on after me do their show around me. Like I'll tell stories. We'll do an ASCAT. We'll do a Toronto version of ASCAT where I'll just keep doing my one man and you interpret my stories in whatever improv bullshit you want to do. Or you can come in and try to freeze tag me and then you finish my fucking stories. I don't know. However the fuck you want to handle it. You want to do the Herald? You want to do long form bullshit? We'll all pretend we're elephants. I don't know what the fuck you guys do with your lives. Beer Shark Mice, or whoever the fuck you are, good for you. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're doing it. Maybe we turn it into Beer Shark Mike that night. Let's do that. Beer Shark Mike. I'll just stand there and talk, and you guys do whatever you can to interpretive dance around me. One of you will have a fucking, a construction helmet and a fucking Indian headdress. Yeah, that's right. You'll be Canadian Village people. That's what you'll be. All 5 of you. Maybe we'll have an improv battle. It'll be Beer Shark Mike against Canadian Spicoli. That's what you guys will all show up. God damn it. And again, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Because this is who I am, folks. I perceive slights everywhere. If I come up to a traffic light and it says don't walk, and I'm like, fuck you. Who are you to tell me not to walk? It's... Even at 44, I'm that guy, and I need to stop being that fucking guy. I need to stop it. But it's so funny. Of course, I'm a child, so I immediately went to Facebook, and I first cut and pasted what he said. I cut and pasted it on my Facebook wall, and I go, you can't do that. Don't do that yet. You can't do it until after, because I haven't paid for the room yet. All right, because he could just yank the rug out from under me and go, fuck you, dude. You're not doing it, and then I have just refund tickets and whatever. I already bought a plane ticket. Fuck that. I can't do that till the day after. Or I can do it here on this show and hope he doesn't listen in a day. Which he doesn't fucking listen. Because you know what? If he listened to this fucking show, he would not question that I can do 3 hours of fucking talking. He would never question that I could talk for 3 fucking hours if he listened to this goddamn show. But yeah, I went to my Facebook wall and I cut and pasted his quote. And then I just went, take it off. Don't do it. All I did then was I put the link on for online sales, and I just wrote, go ahead and buy some tickets. And the guy who runs the room doesn't think I'm delusional. Because he does. He must. Because it's like you go to their other dates. You know, Pardo's going to be there in a couple of weeks, and Brody Stevens was just there, and they do an 8 and a 10. They do 2 different shows a night. I'm nobody. Because that's the thing is they pay them to come. I don't know how these other comics. They might have a door deal. Whoever fucking knows. All I know is I rented the room, so I just have the space. So they don't care to. It's funny if you go to the website because they said they wouldn't promote me or anything because I'm selling my own tickets. So it just says Mike Schmidt. Like it doesn't explain anything about who I am or what I do, and that's fine. It doesn't have a link to the tickets. It doesn't have anything because they don't have a stake in it. Other than to sneer at me from over the border and laugh at what they think I can or can't do. But that's a lie. Again, I don't think he's that way. I'm sure he's not that way. I'm sure he's just, it's like if you walked into your house and you saw a cobra, you wouldn't know what to do. You'd have no reference point. You certainly know that there are cobras in the world, but you wouldn't know why the fuck it was in your house. Well, when you hear that I'm a comedian who does like 3 hours, you know what comedians are, but you have no reference point for 3 hours of comedy at all out of one person. I mean, you got Beer Shark Mike and Canadian Spicoli in there at 10:30. They're going to be done by 11:15. There's teams of dudes on each other's shoulders. It's like the Walendas. There's like 18 dudes in Beer Shark Mike and Canadian Spicoli, and they're all going to go for a fucking hour. I'm going to talk for 3 hours. And 3 fucking hours. Bring a stopwatch, motherfucker. I don't give a shit if I got to do crowd work at that point. I'll take suggestions from the audience. I'll Beer Shark Mike the shit out of all of you. So I'm looking forward to Toronto. Now that I've created this undue pressure and put it on my own fucking shoulders. Before I just wanted to be good. I just want to go to towns and be good, but I also get in my head and I get to do the pressure because I expect, you know what? You people are traveling. There's a guy coming to this show from Germany. He's flying from Germany to see me in Canada. I mean, that's wrong on 30 levels, right? You should never come from Germany, and if you do come to America, you don't want to go to fucking Canada. Canada, I mean, I don't know what the weather's like in Germany, but it's got to be the same as Canada, right? I've seen war movies. Canada is just Germany without the anger. That's all it is. See me in America. Then you'll get all of the anger that you're used to in Germany, plus some probably. We're not a happy people. Despite what REM has told you in Germany. I know they've come there over and over and told you, shiny, happy people in America. No, not happening. But that's what I mean is, I put this weird pressure on myself whenever I do a show in another town because you guys have heard so much about the show. And look, it's just me talking. That's all it is. But you just so happen to like that. That's great. But you like this show, so you like me talking, so maybe you'll like me talking live. Cool. I hope so. You'll have the chance to see me in Indianapolis. That's going to be fantastic. You'll have the chance to see me in Green Bay in September. And I have another show to mention, folks. Should I mention it now or should I mention it later? I don't know. Should I mention it now? Hey, folks, October 19th. Friday, October 19th, well into the fall. There'll be a crispness in the air. Well, America will be hit with a German-Canadian front. It'll be that kind of cold. Friday, October 19th at 8 o'clock p.m., I'm returning to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, folks, at the... all right, it's got some stupid name. This joint is a stupid name, but he told me, he goes, everyone calls it the Latvian Society. And then parenthetically, he's like, yes, we've heard every Dr. Doom joke you could possibly imagine. So I will refrain from doing those until the night of course. But I am at the Latvian Society. I think it's like a big clubhouse for foreigners. I have no idea. It's like a VFW hall. I don't know. Again, I don't ever go to theaters. When I go to theaters, the manager questions the fact that I could even do the job. You know that. I'm doing a place called Comedy Bar in Toronto, and it's literally me, and it's a 2-man show. Me and Skepticism. Skepticism has shown up and been booked onto the bill. I pictured that motherfucker. I picture him just pulling a chair up, sitting directly in front of me on the stage and going and hitting a stopwatch right when I start talking.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know why it would be awesome? Because for 45 minutes I would talk about him and his stopwatch. And it would have nothing to do with the show. I would be like, dude, you're just helping me. Honestly, you want to show up and be a fucking douchebag holding a stopwatch? Fantastic. Meanwhile, in the back, you hear Canadian Spicoli going through there. La 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 la. They're they gotta loosen up their voices. A. So hey man, I'm coming back to Philadelphia. Now, last time I was in Philadelphia, I came to town early because I wanted to go to Phillies games. I tried to book this in September. I gave the guy like 4 dates because I wanted to see the Phillies, and none of them worked because there's some fringe festival in Philadelphia for 6 weeks. How fringe is that? Sounds like a mainstream festival, quite frankly. How fringe are you if you're booking 6 fucking weeks of venues? Although I guess it's not technically the Fringe Festival. There's some Fringe performances, but then there's another troupe that booked it for. It might have been Canadian Spicoli. Maybe they're coming down to Philadelphia with Beer Shark Mike. They booked a solid couple of weeks there. So I tried. I gave him August and September dates, and none of them worked. He's like, it's weird. The first date you gave us in August is the first date of the run, and it runs all the way through the end of September. So he's like, maybe if the Phillies make the playoffs, we can get you to a playoff game. And it's like, yeah, that's not happening this year, unfortunately. And then in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I can go to an Eagles game. I don't even care about doing a good show anymore, folks. That guy from Canada has beaten it out of me. All I care about is coming and talking for a certain amount of allotted time. Whatever. So the bottom line is I am at the Latvian Society, and I guess there's a bar on premises. Carlis. Unfortunately, off the top of my head, I don't remember his name, but he's the guy who booked me, and he saw me at the previous show I did in Philadelphia at the Plays and Players, and he's like, "Hey man, we have a venue. It's big. It's got chairs and tables. It's got a bar. The only thing we would need is for you to do the meet and greet in the bar afterwards, so we can make some money on that. And also, if there's an intermission by then." Because that's my fault because I keep alluding to it and then I don't put it in. And he's like, if there's an intermission by then, you can send everybody back to the bar and we can make some money there. And then he wrote, but he was very nice. He's like, I would never tell you how to do your show. I saw it in Philadelphia. I love it the way it is, and that's fine. Philadelphia was the first show that went over 3 hours. Yeah, I did an hour and 45 minutes in San Francisco, like the first time I ever did the show. And that would be nice, right? That would be good for everybody. We'd all get out of there on time. We'd go have a taco. Everybody would be fine. But now I can't because fucking Maple Leaf McGillicuddy's going to show up at a goddamn stopwatch and sit in front of the stage and stare an icy Maple Leaf-sized hole right through my goddamn head to the back of the room. Through the wall. Right into the chest of one of the leads of Canadian Spicoli. Oh, your boring stare has gone right into the chest of fucking Canadian Spicoli's lead guy. God damn you, Maple Leaf McGillicuddy. And hey, the last time I came to Philadelphia, remember that town tried to kill me. You did everything in your power to keep me out of there with like high, and that was one of the reasons why when Carlin's, I don't know his name, when he contacted me, he was like, hey man, I saw you in Philadelphia and we have this space, so I said to him, I go, look, we need to book this as soon as we possibly can if we're going to do it because I need to get a plane ticket now and figure out what I'm spending. I can't, because I remember last time I waited. I was like, oh yeah, I'll wait. And then I want to pay like 6 bills to get there and then paid for a car and all this fucking brutal. So the way it works now is I'm going to get a plane ticket and a hotel and that'll be it. You will not defeat me, Philadelphia. I'm coming back to rub it in your face. Because also Philadelphia was a great show. I really enjoyed it. I met and a bunch of cool people came out. But at the same time, I only sold like 29 tickets or something like that. So by all means, come back to town. Well, I mean, you know what? Because that was in the infancy. That was the fledgling effort of the show. That was when nobody knew who I was. And now that I'm a household name, now that I'm international, fuck, I'm bad. I'm nationwide, folks. Now that I'm an international name and I'm selling tons of tickets up in Toronto, and now that I've got a guy who's making sure that every single minute is accounted for, that only can spread my name throughout the States. So I'm sure down here in Canada's basement, I'm sure everything's going to be fine from now on. So I look forward to Philadelphia. It's the challenge, the mere challenge. I come back a year later. I want to see how things have changed, folks. Come to the Latvian Society and drink. And there'll be a show. And it'll be different. Well, I mean, of course it'll be different because I'm not going to go to fucking Church's Chicken and die or whatever the fuck happened the last time. Crown's Chicken. Is that where I was the last time? Then I almost wound up in fucking Murderport or what city was I in? I don't know. I don't know. I almost want him dead. So why, now I'm ready to, and now I have a better idea because I've got more cities under my belt. Last time I stayed out by the fucking airport in some bullshit hotel and I rented a car, cost $1 billion. And now I don't have to do that. Now I find out where I'm going to be and I'm going to stay downtown and it'll be perfect. I'll just, me and the Roots will hang out and have cheesesteaks. I can't wait. And everybody else who's in Philadelphia who can't wait for me to come back. It seems a year. I'm going to guess a year spacing it out. That seems okay. I'll change the show. Because I was there and I did, maybe I'll just come and do different stories. I don't know. But then that gets away from the narrative of what I'm trying to do. But it's not even really a narrative of what I'm trying to do. Who the fuck knows? I'll let you know when I get back from Toronto. Because in Toronto, I plan on doing the regular show and another show on top of it just so I can fill the time. I'm so freaked out about it now. It's like normally I would just go and try to be funny and whatever happened. But now I've got this weird arbitrary bullshit in my head, which I do have that a lot of the times anyway. But now I really have it, even though I'm paying for the privilege of using their fucking room. But he's thrown down the gauntlet. All right. Fuck you, Maple Leaf McGillicuddy and Poutine Pete and Tim Horton and Geddy Lee and all you other judgmental Canadian assholes. God damn it. Quit picking on me. Quit picking on me, damn. I'm just coming to your town to try to make people laugh. That's all I want to do. Stop picking on me. I'm just sitting on this bus making sure nothing bad happens. Why the fuck would all of you gang up on me and film me and put me on the internet like this? Why are you making me sad? That's who I am. I'm that sad old lady riding a bus to Canada and getting made fun of by fucking Poutine Pete, Tim Horton, Maple Leaf McGillicuddy, and Geddy Lee. God damn it. And hey, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, put down the fucking phone and help me. Stop filming me and putting me on the internet for all to see as I get lampooned sitting in my seat. That fucking sad old lady. I saw that clip and I'm watching it. And if you don't want to murder all of those kids within seconds, I mean 10 seconds. There's no groundwork. There's no backstory. There's no preamble. You hate them from the fucking jump. Well, let's put it this way. Kids on a school bus, I hate them anyway. I hate them no matter what. Did I say bunts? School bunts? Kids on a school bunts? That's what they call them in Canada. School bunts. But I mean, look, kids suck. We all know that. Anybody who's younger than me is horrible. They're horrible. I hate them. No offense. If you're listening to the show, I enjoy you. However, but anybody else that doesn't listen to the show who's younger than 44, die in a goddamn fire and film it. Have your friend film it and put it on the internet. Just make sure you save the sad old lady first. And she sat there and just was crushed and destroyed. And then the finger in the ear, dude, you're watching it and I'm going, kill them all. And then now and look, you guys might hate Anonymous, you might hate 4chan and whoever the fuck, but 4chan got their names immediately and their phone numbers and put them out there. And they started and then it turned into a douchebag text war. Literally the people are on Twitter and the sister, I saw a big transcript of the sister of one of the kids on Twitter. And she's like, you were young once. Maybe, you know what, old people don't know what it's like to be young anymore. The pressures of being in school and peer pressure and I'm like, oh my God. People have been saying that since the 1600s. Literally, there was some whining motherfucker in a knight costume going, oh, you old people don't know what it's like, the peer pressure of going and having to joust with everybody at my school. Fuck off. God damn it. I'm tired of it. I just kill everybody. Everyone. That's it. Lay them low. We just need to strafe them with machine gun fire. That's it. No more young people. God damn it. Where's Logan's Run when we need it? Actually, no, that's no more old people. We need a reverse Logan's Run. We need a Logan's Jog. Logan's Walk. Logan's Sit. We need a Logan's Sit in this fucking country. Old people just sit in their rocking chairs and watch young people perish in the street for sport. God damn it. What does she got now? 800 grand?
Fucking ridiculous.
Awesome.
No.
Bullshit. Awesome. I don't care. I think it's great. I think, and you know what? You know what? We should turn it into a fucking game show because she's got 800 grand stacked up now, and she. But you know what? When you see her, you can't say no. It's not fair because she's even going, I don't believe that any of this is true. I don't believe that money until I get it. Whatever the fuck. So there's 800 grand sitting there waiting for her. She's going to get, but they should give her the choice. They should make it like the fucking lottery, man, or the monkey's paw, or one of those other fucking cautionary tales Rod Serling told me about. They should say, hey, you can have the 800 grand, or we'll kill all 4 of these kids.
No.
Yeah, that's the fucking plan. Kill all 4 of those kids and give each of their families 200 grand to make up for the death of the kid.
No.
Yeah.
Those families helped make those kids little fucks.
Good. They don't get the money then. See, you're on board with me. Earlier, you're like, she's getting too much money. Now you want to kill everyone. Good for you. See, I'm glad you came across to my way of thinking. All it took for you to come across to my way of thinking was the possibility of them getting some sort of recompense. No, fuck it. Kill those kids and give her the choice and put it on TV. That's a reality show. Get fucking Mike Darnell on the phone and fox the shit out of this. You think, and we'll get it. You know what? Get the old lady, put her in a spinning chair. That's it. Done. Show. Perfect. You got a banker who's hidden in the shadows. You got the old lady in a spinning chair, and you trot those 4 fucking kids out, and then a pile of money on the side. Done. God damn it, it's perfect. That's where we're going. That's where we're heading. Let's just get there. I say let's take the fucking express. Between douchebags in real life and fucking reality TV, we're getting to the point where eventually we're going to start killing people, right? The Running Man will show up. My only fucking disappointment is that Richard Dawson died before he could actually host the real life version. God damn, he was great on The Running Man. Oh, he was so good. Who do you love? God damn it, Dawson. So furious. But if he could have stayed alive, literally Running Man's coming in 5 years. Why couldn't you held on, Dawson? Why don't I say we bump up the 5 years? Mike Darnell, you short motherfucker, get on this right now. He's tiny. He's like 5'1". He's a little wedding cake dude. That's why he invented all this mean-spirited television, because he hates the earth. So Mike Darnell's just like, yeah, let's think of a show like, what is it called? Joe Millionaire, where we make a fake millionaire and we have a chick with fake tits like date him, and then they fake fuck on a rock and then we put in those noises. I mean, that's what Mike Darnell is. He's a walking whoopee cushion. He's a human prank. He just wants to go ahead and trick the good people. That's it. So we get Mike Darnell on board, and we get the old lady in a spinning fucking chair. Who can we get the fucking, I'm sure that Mark Wahlberg dude is out there. He can host it, right? Is he got a germ thing? No, that's Mark Summers. Mark Summers has the germ thing. He came in to host one of the shows that we were going to do. No. So does Mark Wahlberg. Or no, Mark Summers, the guy, he hosts Unwrapped on the Food Network. He used to host Double Dare. That's the Canadian dude. Fucking Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger, perfect.
Bullshit. We can't have him. Canadian. Guy hates me. He's one of the dudes on the bus. There it is. It's Berenger, Geddy Lee, Poutine Pete, Tim Horton, and fucking Make Believe McGillicuddy. All heckling me on the school bunts. I just wanted a peaceful ride on the school bunts. That's all I wanted here in your prefecture, or your fucking, what is, I don't know, in Japan they're prefectures. What are they called up there? Province. Your province. I just wanted to ride a school bunts in your province. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to grab a loony, maybe a toonie, enjoy myself in the snow, ride a moose. And then I hop on the fucking school bunts, and there's Berenger, Lee, McGillicuddy, Horton, and Pete. Just staring at me and filming it and putting their fucking Canadian fingers in my ears. God damn it, you bastards. All right, we got to do a clip show. I've talked long enough. Where are we? I don't even know where we're at. 51? All right. Folks, I throw it to you for a vote. Here's what I ask. Should I do right now? Because right now, because I'm done. I'm done no matter what. So I can do I'll throw it to the end and we'll do the ramp out and I'll do the plugs and stuff like that. And I'll probably get to about an hour. Or I can throw in like a fancy, a story from the past that you've all loved in the past that you may love in the future. And no, not the Father's Day story. Although, you know what's funny? You all want that. Why wouldn't I just do it? People want it. They wrote me wanting it last week. Why shouldn't I just fucking do it? But I came here today and I said to Lily, I go, I think I'm doing a clip thing. She goes, the Father's Day one? And I said, well, no, because I did some research last night and I had one, maybe 2 stories that we could throw in as clips. And she's like, why wouldn't you do the Father's Day one? You said 2 weeks ago you were going to do it. And then you had to apologize to people for not doing it. Because that's what you people want. I don't want to give you what you want. I don't give the people, I'm not the Who. I don't give the people what they want. No, I should though, right? I should. Or should I just, again, I throw the vote out to you guys. Well, you know what? Here's a sub vote. First this vote. Should I end the show now? Or should we do like a clip? Should I throw in another story? Now, let's branch off and have another vote. Should I do the story that I've picked, or should I do the Father's Day? Just throw in the Father's Day episode. But see, then that makes this look like 2 hours and people are going to be like so excited and then they're going to play it and go, fuck, it's a rerun. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that to people.
An hour of it is not a rerun.
Yeah, but it's an hour of me telling them how great I am and bitching about Poutine Pete. I mean, nobody's happy with that turn of events. You know what? Actually, I should go to Facebook right now. I will turn to Facebook on the air and I will type to people, hey, should I do a clip show or should I not? Hold on. Let me get on the face. But people aren't live on Facebook. Nobody's live on Facebook. This isn't going to help, right?
Here's the thing. Anyone who's on Facebook right now gets to be the tastemaker.
That's a good point.
I'm going to go to your wall too because I want want to watch this?
Okay, let's do this. Hold on.
The first vote? Is that it?
Yeah.
The very first vote?
All right, first vote. First vote. Well, all right, should I put both polls up?
You should put the first poll up.
Is the clip show?
Clip show or not?
Okay, cool.
And then put the second one up as soon as somebody answers.
All right.
Okay, we're doing it.
Look at the interactive fun we're having now with
it's
Facebook,
awesome.
ladies and gentlemen. This is so great. As soon as my fucking phone gets through to my wall, god damn it. All right, hold on. I forgot I'm in the oldest building in Hollywood. There's not a cell tower that can penetrate these fucking asbestos and lead-filled walls.
Oh my god!
All right.
I saw the explosion of Ed.
Oh, the new one? The Jagoffs or Jagoffs?
Oh my
Yeah, Mex is the fucking greatest. All right. All right, I'm going to put this up. Recording now.
Oh fuck.
First vote. Right, recording now. An hour in. Best of 5 or first vote?
First vote. Fuck it. Just whoever's there gets to decide.
First vote decides. I'm actually trying to talk while I type. So stupid. And it says first vote Fasudes. I hate misspelling on Facebook. Yeah, we should do a Jeopardy theme at this point. How mad are people right now listening to this and going, you should have just quit because now you're just typing. You're talking about typing, you asshat. All right, first vote decides. All right.
What if nobody votes?
Quit. Quit now. Do the plugs. Oh, Jesus. I hate this fucking typing nonsense. And do the plugs. Or throw in a past story.
Jesus Christ.
To make-
Do I keep talking or do a best of? Who
Show.
pick? Jesus.
What should I type? I'm almost done here.
Finish it now.
Well, here's what I wrote. Recording now, an hour in. First vote decides. Quit now and do the plugs or throw in a past story to make the show longer.
There you go. That works.
All right. Let's see if it posts. All right. Recording now, an hour in. First vote decides. Quit now and do the plugs or throw in a past story to make the show longer. Folks, we're waiting. It's 7:17 p.m. This has gone up. Actually, it's 7:19 p.m. I started typing at 7:17. It took me 2 minutes to type 10 words.
It's now been up for 14 seconds.
It's been up for 14 seconds. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Why aren't you voting?
I just keep refreshing.
God damn it. I'm on my phone and I'm just flipping, updating. Who's on Facebook? Who gets to jump in?
Boy, it's been 22 seconds and no one's...
No one cares. You know what? Damn it. This just proves that nobody cares.
Like 27 seconds, no one's commented.
Nope. I can't believe it. What's wrong with you? Everybody else is on Facebook going, yay, cheerleading, yay, my kid. Fuck off. Vote on my show, God damn it. This is important. Facebook, someone's in?
Yes, someone's in, but he didn't answer correctly.
No. What did he say?
Longer. What does that mean?
Oh, no. You've ruined everything. Hold on.
Okay. These coming in right
I've got them now on my phone.
Okay.
Is our friend comedian Rye Silverman.
Yes.
Rye Silverman can't follow directions.
No,
You know why? Because he's a comedian. Comedians can't follow directions. So I guess he was voting for longer, which means past story. All right. So Mike French, after Rye Silverman came our friend Mike French. Matthew Becker just wrote ladder. What is that? Is he voting for the ladder,
Yes,
or is he saying,
farmers quit now? The latter is...
or did he misspell ladder and he wants me to climb on it and jump off and hang myself?
No.
I have no clue. All right. So I've got 3 votes. I've got I guess they're all voting for past story. All right. Right? Pretty much. All right. I wish now I'd voted quit now just to ruin 3 people's day. Oh, Rye Silverman. See, he's a comic. Past story from Scott Sarna and Kenneth Rodriguez and Michael Woods. Although, weirdly, for some reason on my phone, Michael Woods and Kenneth Rodriguez have the same profile photo.
That's because they're the same person.
I hope not. Because Michael Woods is picking me up from the airport. All right. And Kenneth Rodriguez is a UFC guy from Chicago. All right. Oh my God. Everybody's jumping in. They're all voting. So, all right. Look, the voting is done. Stop your voting. Facebook has decided that I'm throwing in.
Stop your voting. We're done.
Yes. All right. Your votes tallied. Stop voting. That's fine. And now I have to post a new status. All right. Okay. Throwing in a story.
Now they're going to be really confused because I told them to stop voting.
No, I'll tell them now. First vote decides. Folks, this is social media. This is where it's all going.
It is.
This is literally cable access in your ears. That's what we're doing right now. I'm taking calls via my cell phone and Facebook. This is grim. Jesus Christ. First vote decides. Hold on, Father's Day. I'm trying to type and talk at the same time, and it's very bad. I apologize, folks. I tried to put Father's Day. It's spelled Garher's Day. Hold on. God damn you, Facebook. All right. Yes, it's Facebook's fault, not my thumbs. Hold on. It's all right. So Father's Day or... Oh, I said Fathy's Day. God damn it. There you go. I changed it to Father's. Father's Day or couples skate. Or should I say mystery story? Couples Father's Day or mystery story?
Father's Day or mystery story. Yeah, it has to be mystery story because you can't tell them what it is.
Vote now. Oh, this is so
Tell
stupid.
them it's 50 cents to vote.
Yeah, text your answer too. God damn it, I should have turned this into a money-making operation. I need to be in people's pockets for fuck's sake. All right, my page is... Okay, throwing in a story. First vote decides Father's Day or mystery story. Vote now.
And it's up. 7 seconds.
Someone voted?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, it's up. We're waiting to see.
17 seconds.
All right, hold on.
I keep refreshing for you.
All right. You know what's funny is people are liking my status. Stop liking and vote. Who likes? Just vote.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I have... All right, we've got one. Hold on, let's see who it is.
We do.
It's our friend Louis Vicuna who says Father's Day.
Father's Day wins.
God damn it, Louis decided for everybody. All right, Louis is, I said, the first vote. Gets it done.
Oh,
So it's going to be... We have someone else jumped in?
Just too late. He's a second late.
What did he say? Oh, we went mystery story. Howland, you blew it. Johnny Howland. You came through looking for a mystery story, but Louis Vicuna came through. And somebody liked mystery story. I'm sorry. Someone liked... all right, go back. Who cares? No one cares. All right, so... all right, it looked like Father's Day was the winner, but now...
Louis just posted again.
No, he did?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, I can't... Hold on. My phone is way behind your computer. God damn it.
It's great.
Let's see. Update. Loading. Updating. Louis, it's not happening.
Here.
Hold on.
It's fine.
You're welcome, everyone. That's what Louis says. He says welcome to everyone, but not to John Howland. Not happy with your choice, Louis. All right. So all right now we're going to have so it's been decided. All right. Okay. Father's Day. It is entire episode.
No, we're not.
Well, because I don't know if they want the story about my dad or the hooker or, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Do we split it?
Oh, Sam.
What did Sam
He
say?
wrote Zoinks Mystery.
Sam, was that Sam Buck?
It was.
Damn you, Sam Buck.
Comedy of Sam Buck.
All right. So Father's Day it is. Entire episode.
You know we've wasted 10 minutes.
Of course we have. This is just dumb. God damn it. You people are fast forwarding. I just hear iPod vaginas getting ripped out of fucking cars, iPods being flung out of windows, tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds being burned. People are actually setting fire to their fucking their gear. All right, so entire episode or break the stories up. Like I don't know how to word this. Is that okay, Father's Day it is, entire episode or
You have to do both stories.
I do because they matched. That was the whole
You don't
point.
have to give another vote.
I like voting.
You've given them too much power already. They're power hungry.
But that's okay because I want to show fucking Tim Horton and Geddy Lee and Tom Berenger and Poutine Pete and Maple Leaf
Your
McGillicuddy.
wife just commented.
Wait, hold on. Karen jumped in? Hold on a second. On which one did she vote on?
On the Father's Day or mystery story.
Hold on. Let me see. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
God damn it. You folks. This is so perfect. We're using Facebook. We're using, I'm using social media. I should have Twittered this out. I should have seen what those people all thought about it. Maybe I should throw it out on Twitter as well. No?
We're done.
We're just doing, you're funny. We were done 15 minutes ago. Obviously, this show is stuck in the fucking tar pits. They're going to find the bones of this show in about 1,000 years. Holy fuck. All right. Where's Karen? I didn't see what Karen Reader said. Oh, she's in the other one. Okay, hold on. Let me lean forward. In bed? Did you throw it in bed?
She threw it in bed.
My wife is having Chinese food. All right. I should, you know what I should write under her comment? Just go, hey, do me a favor, check my bit book for the mystery story.
You should. That'll get you laid.
Yeah, oh my God. This is awful. All right, folks. All right, so it looks to me like Rye and Rob are having a fight on my Facebook page, so I'm going to put my phone down now and return my attention to all of you out there who are listening. We threw this out there to the Facebook people. We threw it out there for a vote, and I said, you know what, do we want to do because I could have just ended it. I could have gone plugs, or I could have thrown in a mystery story here, but people out there decided they want to have a story. So then we said, hey, why am I recapping? You heard it all. Oh! What the fuck am I recapping? Jesus Christ, this isn't the end. It's like the post-game show? You're a dipshit. You just threw it out there and you made people suffer and listen to you typing on your phone. And now you're going to recap it for these motherfuckers. God, are you stupid? Holy shit. You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing this in Toronto on stage. Get that stopwatch out, motherfucker, and time me, because I'm going to throw it out to people in the audience. Hey, Facebook, what story am I telling now? I got to stretch this motherfucker out so Maple Leaf McGillicuddy can just fucking stare at me with his stopwatch going before I climb into the school bus and head back to the hotel. All right, man. Facebook is spoken. Social media. Because 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to put the Father's Day episode up, and I made it a goof. And then everybody was like, you're a dick. And I'm like, well. So, hey, you know what's funny? Should I tell people what the mystery story is that they passed on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Fuck 'em, yeah.
All right, yeah. Guess what, folks? You know what the mystery story was? It was going to be peas and carrots. That's what the story was going to be. It's about me working on the Hoffa set. Like I had it broken down, and I was debating. Actually, I apologize. I should have put this up because there were 3 stories I was going to choose from the mystery story. It was going to be Hoffa set, beating up the car on Highland, because I keep referencing that, and some people don't know what it is, and then Juggalos. When I worked the ICP concert, which is weird. You know what's totally weird about that? ICP and beating up the car, same episode. Because I was looking around and I'm like, I saw the ICP artwork and I'm like, oh, I'll check that ICP story. And then in the opening, I'm explaining why my hand is fucking swollen and red because I beat up the car on the way to your house that day. Jesus Christ, that was a great show. I'm fucking good. All right. So that was the 3 mystery stories, folks. You would have heard either ICP or you would have heard me beating up a car, which would have explained to the people who are new what the fuck that means. Or it would have been peas and carrots. But now those are all on deck. Oh my God, you get to enjoy those in the future. Or actually, I could just type them all on my Facebook wall. I'll type them out word for word while I'm on this show. Jesus, you know what? We need to hire like a stenographer who could type this out on Facebook on the wall while I'm doing it, and some people could follow along. God damn, that's great. All right, I got to get ready for Canada. So right now, I'm going to throw this to the Father's Day, and we're going to go the whole episode because there was the story in the beginning about Father's Day, and then there was the story afterwards where I had someone who decided to. I wound up giving a ride to somebody. I don't want to give too much away, but if you're new, you won't know what this is. If you're old, you'll recognize this as the time I should have stopped doing podcasting. You'll hear this and you go, yeah, that should have been your last show ever, because I should have just walked off into the sunset after the show. But our friend Lily will put it together for you, and I'll be back to ramp out and tell you all about where I'm going and plugs and all the things that you can do with your money regarding me and who I am and fucking yeah. But the voting has ended, folks. Let me tell you, I can't stress enough. The voting has ended. As I double check now, let's see where we're at. Well, a lot of people did want mystery story, but again, as I've mentioned earlier, these are the stories you can look forward to those in the. Oh, folks, let me ask you something. This is fun, right? We're having fun. I throw it out on Facebook. I try to reach out to you folks because we're all fans and friends and we're all enjoying one another's company. And then inevitably, somebody has to come along and stick their dick right in the fucking mashed potatoes. What the fuck is wrong with you, William J. Settle? Really? Really? Neither? You fucking wrote neither on my fucking page? Hey, you don't like it? Get the fuck off. This is my fucking plot of land, all right? This is my property. Get off my property, William J. Settle. I'm asking people to vote for me, and everybody's like, yay, mystery story. Maybe we'll go with the Father's Day story. Woohoo! And it's like, but you've got to come in and try to do open mic night. Oh, you're fucking hilarious, William J. Settle. You and your bullshit picture of a black lab, whatever the fuck that is on your page. Go pet that dog and realize that nobody gives a fuck about you or your opinion. You step on here and you write something because I put it out there to be nice. I'm like, yay, you don't even probably know me. You're probably not even my friend. You don't listen to this fucking show. You're probably friends with Louis Vacuna, who's the first guy to vote, because you know why? Louis is a fan. Louis enjoys this show. Louis cares about getting his opinion heard on Facebook. You just step in to fucking spit in the face of everything and fly in the face of convention. Nobody gives a fuck about you, William J. Settle. Why are you being a cunt? Why you got to come in here and ruin everything? You've ruined it all. You know what, folks? That's it. I'm done. You know what? I should put up a third fucking vote. Third vote. Father's Day story or fucking me just burying William J. Settle for the next 45 fucking minutes. I don't know where you're from or who the fuck you think you are, but you step in here and try to be goddamn funny. Don't try to be funny where you're not wanted. Don't try to be funny when you're not funny. Don't try to be funny when I don't know who the fuck you are. You come in here and you bust my fucking balls. You think you're going to step in and fucking clean house and try to be cute with one word? Neither, or a one word joke? Not even a joke. Not even funny. You don't even fucking belong here. I don't know why you fucking step up and think you're going to go ahead and be what, you're going to entertain everyone. People like me. People like my show and my stories. And I'm trying to make this an experiment, a fun thing, a vote. Get on the bunts, Settle. Are you Canadian? Are you fucking Canadian? I can't be bothered to go look at your page and see where the fuck you're from, but you're sneaky like a fucking Canadian. You come in and talk your shit on my goddamn page? Neither. How cute, how quaint, how fucking funny. Go ruin somebody else's fucking feed. This is fun. This is me and my frolicking Facebook friends enjoying a life and having a vote about what I'm going to say and what I'm going to do. But you got to come in here and be a cunt and ruin it for everybody. God damn it. Ryan and Rob are having their fight. My wife steps in and says her thing. And you, William J. Settle, who I've never heard of, whom no one has ever heard of, working your fucking piece of shit job somewhere. This is your time to shine and be funny. And you step out and put the word neither. Well, guess what? Neither funny, nor clever, nor interesting. So, folks, here comes the story now. I won't put up the third vote. No? Oh, yeah, that's true. There's no vote. I voted. Yeah, because I voted because it's my page and it's my fucking show. William J. Settle, get your own podcast. Or maybe you get a radio show. You know what? Here's my vote for you. Should you get a radio show? Should you get a podcast? Here's my vote, William J. Settle. Neither. If you are there, William J. Settle, and you are listening to this, sit down and listen to what a fucking great story sounds like. Here you go.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and later, The Day the Indians Killed Danny Nagy, An American Nightmare.
When the present trespasses on the past, something has to give. Chief Staring Bison.
As our children cried, the Danny Nagy held up his magic black box to steal their souls. He was commanding them to smile, even as our first arrows pierced his hide. The Danny Nagy lurched forward. All told, it took 13 arrows to vanquish his spirit, his screams echoing through the canyon with each wound. He was washed and sliced open, and our women stuffed him with feathers for the ritual of the rains. We still use his Chrysler Sebring for trips to town.
Give Me a Peabody. The Day the Indians Killed Danny Nagy on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
And the Danny Nagy was no more.
But Father's Day was this weekend, and I didn't have I had a dad. That seems stupid to say. I had one. He just wasn't interested in being a dad. He was a lot more interested in the liquor he had hid in the laundry room, or in the linen closet, or in any other room that starts with L. I remember Father's Day, the last Father's Day we went with my dad was like, I think 78, maybe 77. I was 9 or 10. Let's put it that way. So what it was for Father's Day weekend, by this time my parents are divorced, and we were living in basements and trying to find, have I talked about that, about where we lived? We had to live in a car for a while, and after we were evicted by my grandparents. All right, long story. It is funny too. By all means, crack up at that. So my mom was she always tried to be nice to my dad, even though my dad was a fucking crazy drunk, and he, in court, had won us. You know how that works, where you got to go in and you know, if you fill the clown's mouth and the balloon pops, you get your kids for a weekend. I don't know how they fucking work it, but guy's a drunk he actually beat my mom up in front of me. I mean, like I saw him punch her in the face. I saw him try to break her arm. We had to run and get help, but the judge said he got us for 1 weekend a month. So all right. So, but at the time I didn't care. He was my dad. That's all I knew. I mean, even all the horrible shit that had happened, he was my dad. And so we looked forward to seeing him. So we wound up going on Father's Day weekend with him. And my mom said, and my mom, I think, was just happy to, fucking have time to herself. This has got to be 78. Yeah. Yeah. So he comes and picks us up in the station wagon that was our family car until the divorce, and then he got it. How did my dad get everything in the divorce? When I think about it now, because that's how fucked up it was for women back in the 70s. You know what I mean? You couldn't prove anything. Now, women say something and everybody kind of jumps to it and takes care of them, and rightfully so. But back then, my mom had a divorce. Again, like I said, we were evicted by our grandparents. My dad was a fucking drunk. He came home with, his broken ribs, and he beat up my mom, and he got the car in the divorce. How the fuck did that happen? How did he get the station wagon? Because my mom got the kids. That's the fucking craziest thing. My mom got the kids, but not the station wagon? How did they expect her to get her around? Crazy. So he comes to pick us up in that fucking red station wagon with the wood panel and fucking beat the shit because he's drunk, smashing into shit. But he comes to pick us up, and I remember him, my mom was nice to him, but she packed us with bags, and she's like, all right, and he was going to take us for, on Saturday, we were going to go to an amusement park, and then we were going to Kittyland, if I remember correctly. All right, that was a place. There was in Chicago there's Santa's Village, and then there's Kittyland. Well, on Saturday we were going to go to Old Chicago, so this has got to be 78. I'm sorry about the year. I don't even know why I spun into this, but Old Chicago was an amusement park in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and it was an indoor amusement park. So it had, it was like all the fun of a roller coaster with all the smell of feet. I mean, it was like that, a bunch of kids sweating and jumping into ball pits and riding in indoor roller coasters. And my dad enjoyed Old Chicago, and I think I've told this story. I may have mentioned this on here, but not to this. It's appropriate. It's Father's Day. There was a beer garden in Old Chicago. So what my dad would do was we would go to Old Chicago, and he'd done it a couple of times previous, and he would turn us loose into the amusement park. He would buy our tickets, and we would go in there and just get to go wherever we wanted, do it. He would give us money to play games, go buy food, whatever the fuck we wanted, all 5 boys. My brother Scott is, at this time, he's only 5 or 6. And in retrospect, this wasn't fair to Lenny either, because once my dad left, my older brother Lenny, he was my dad, essentially. He had to be the man of the house at 12. So when that weekend came with my dad, it was even worse of a burden, because during the week my mom would work, so Lenny had to watch us then. So then you would think that when my dad came, it was like Lenny would get the time off from being a dad. Nope. No, because my dad would take us to the amusement park. He would buy the tickets and tell Lenny, hey, keep an eye on everybody. And then my dad would go up to the fucking beer garden and get plowed. So this particular Saturday, that's exactly what happened. He let us in. We're going around. We're eating churros, and we're riding on fucking amusement parks. We lost Glenn. I remember losing Glenn. We were trying to find Glenn, and Glenn had sat for a caricature, to get drawn, but he didn't have any money. He just thought the guy was just drawing people for free. So he sat down and he got drawn, and then we had to go over there, and then the guy was mad that Glenn wasn't going to pay, so Lenny actually had to pay him out of the money that my dad gave us. But again, Lenny, this is 70. Lenny's 13 at the time. I'm 10, and all of my brothers. We're down to 5, and we're on our own in the amusement park while my dad is upstairs in a fucking keg of Old Style. So, even though it's an amusement park and even though it's fun, it's still indoors. So there's really not a lot of places to walk and a lot of things to do. So eventually we get bored out of our fucking mind, and we go to try to find my dad. So we go up to the beer garden, and my dad is in there talking with his new beer garden friends. I'm surprised my dad isn't in lederhosen at this fucking point. But he says, oh, all right, well, we'll leave eventually. He goes, go back, and he gives us more money to go and eat. And so, of course, hey, look, 5 fat kids are going to go fucking eat immediately. So we take the money, we go back to the amusement park because they had to stamp your hand. We go in, we're on the rides, and we're watching Scott. Again, Lenny's not having any fun at all. Lenny is watching all of us. Like, even when we want to go on a ride, we have to make sure everybody's lined up, and we have to see them within eyesight. Lenny has to see them because he doesn't want them to go off and get fucking free characters again. So the pressure's all on Lenny to fucking watch everyone. I can't even imagine it. I hated it. It was that, but that was the way it worked. So we stayed until closing.
Oh, harsh.
I think it was like 9:00. Which means we got there about 1 p.m. My dad's been drinking for 8 hours. And let me tell you something. You've got to really be sick of an amusement park when you're 10 years old to want to leave. I mean, the fact that 8 hours we were there. I mean, it was fucking incredible. So we leave. We go get my dad, and my dad, he was a very experienced alcoholic. He wasn't like a guy who would just get fucking plowed and pass out or whatever the fuck. I mean, he could hold it. I mean, that's the thing, is he could drink forever, and he'd be sweating beer, and he'd be fucking drunk, and but he would still be able to function and talk to you. So we go up, they closed the amusement park, like they're shutting the rides down. So the 5 of us have to walk up to the beer garden, and 5 boys walk in looking for him. He's like, "Oh, hey." And he's like, "Do you guys want something to eat?" And he tries to give us some money. And we're like, "Dad, no, they're closed. We're closing. We got to go." He's like, "Oh, okay." And what it was, like I said, we were going to go to Old Chicago on Saturday, and then we're going to Kittyland on Sunday. I never understood the logic of that, because Kittyland, we lived in Romeoville, which was close to Bolingbrook. And Kittyland was like 30 miles away. So what we should have done on Saturday, we should have gone to Kittyland and then had fun there, and then come home Sunday and gone to Bolingbrook and Old Chicago, because it was on the way home, and then he would have had he would be able to take us home that much faster. But I guess he really wanted to start getting drunk on Saturday. So he's like, "Well, I'm going to go to the close one and get completely bombed." So he did. He got loaded. We leave Old Chicago. And we pile into the fucking station wagon. And I mean, I don't even, being a kid, I wasn't scared. I just knew my dad, he'd been drinking, and I'd always known that he would drink. So he had to drive now to get us to wherever we were going near Kittyland. And we said to him, "Where are we going?" He goes, "Oh, we got a hotel up by Kittyland." And we're like, "Oh, okay." So he drove. And I wish I had a better story about it being a ride from hell, where we were swerving all over and everything was death. But we were so fucking tired and full of churros from the goddamn amusement park. He could have driven there through a cornfield and we would have no fucking idea. I think the second we sat down and all got buckled in, we fucking, buckled in, right? 1978, I'm sure we were buckled in the station wagon. No, fuck that. We were all on top of one another like a goddamn totem pole. And he just drove and we slept. I mean, he might have hit 4 passengers and a raccoon. I got no fucking idea. All I know is I wake up and we're at the hotel. The only indication I do have of there being a problem, however, is when we get out at the hotel, my dad has parked angle-wise across like 2.5 spots. So we get out, and he goes to the front, and he gives us a key, and we're all in one room, and he's in another room. So my dad goes to bed, and then we go into the room, and we turn the TV on because he doesn't tuck us in or anything. We don't have anything going on. And then we hear my dad leave. He leaves the hotel. But he didn't take the car. And I looked out the window, and I saw him meet a woman in the parking lot. And then they walked across the street to a bar. Which has to make my dad the Olympic gold medal champion of drinkers. Because he drank for 8 fucking hours. He gets to the hotel. He drove 40 miles to go to this hotel. He puts his kids into a room, gives them a room key, and then leaves to go drink some more with some chick. And I remember we're in the room, and everybody's fucking gassed out of sleep. The kids, Glenn, Andy, and Scott, the little guys, are completely fucking gone. And Lenny also is like kind of nodding off, and I'm like, "What are we going to do?" And he's like, "What?" I go, "Dad just left." And he goes, "Don't worry about it. He'll be right back." Because Lenny knew, all right? He knew my dad was a fuck up, but he was doing what he could to try to keep us together. He was the only dad there. So sure enough, I tried to watch TV. I stayed up, and I was going to wait up for my dad because I had this weird thing where even if he was still my dad. Like I was too young to hate him. Does that make any sense? If I would have been old enough, if I would have been like 15 when he divorced my mom and he was a drunk, then I could have fucking hated him. But when I was a kid, he was still my dad. No matter what he did, no matter what the fuck happened, he was still my dad. So I was just, case in point, I told the story about my birthday, which, that's not a funny story. It's a sad story. Why are you laughing? Do you remember the story? You don't even remember, do you? You don't.
I believe I do.
When I put the phone down. Did I tell that story?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. All right, maybe I'll tell that story. All right. All right, this will tell you all you need to know about my dad. All right. I always idolized my dad. I didn't care. He was drunk. He beat my mom up. He did those things, but they were isolated incidents that I could rule out because he was still my father. And I so desperately wanted to have a dad that I was just like, well, yeah, he's my dad. That's what happens. I mean, even though I saw him getting handsy with 17-year-old babysitters in my house and having them sit on his lap, and I saw him doing, like I said, trying to break my mom's arm, and we had to run and get help. I saw all of these things happen, and yet throughout it all, he was my father. And he would call drunk. After we wound up moving, this incident is after, you know what, fuck, I can't do this. Because it doesn't make any sense. To tell this now, it cuts into that story. I should finish that story and then button it with this other one. Kathy, you wanted to see my process? Here it is. If I sat down and planned this shit out, don't you think it would have been a lot smoother than this? You wouldn't have to hear me making these fucking decisions on the air. Holy fuck! All right, I'll get to that. I'll. It makes sense progressively to do this later. All right, I'll get to that in a second. But the main point I'm trying to drive is that my dad was my dad and always was my dad, no matter what. Even after the divorce, he would call us and he would call drunk to the house to talk to the kids. And inevitably, everybody would be like, "Oh Christ!" And they didn't want to talk to him. So I'd say, "I'll talk to him," and he would give me the phone, and I would listen to my dad for an hour. He would talk to me, drunk, and I don't know what he was talking about. He talking about his work. Like literally, he would talk to me like I was someone at the bar, and I didn't care because it was my dad's voice on the phone, and I was happy that he was there, and I was his son at that point. I couldn't, I was too young to identify that he had no fucking idea who he was talking to. It didn't matter to me, man. I just had him on the phone and that was great. So I waited up. Like I wanted to see him come back from the bar. I wanted to see what he was going to do. And I sat by the window, looking out the window, waiting. And because it was a motel, it was one of those, it wasn't like we were in a fucking nice hotel. My dad jammed us into a motel, whatever was close to a bar. I'm sure that's what he did. My dad may have even invented the internet just to find a hotel close to a bar. My dad invented Google he put in hotel/bar, and then that was it. My dad invented the entire thing just to get loaded. So I was sat by the window and I actually fell asleep. On the windowsill, like, in a chair. Everybody else was in bed. We were like laying there waiting. And we were supposed to go to Kittyland early in the morning. My dad was going to wake us up. We were going to go to breakfast and then we were going to go to Kittyland. It was going to be so fun. So I woke up and everybody else was kind of waking up. Scott was awake and he had the TV on already. He's watching TV. He's 5. And Lenny wakes up and he's like, well, have you heard from Dad yet? No. And I think it was 10 in the morning. And housekeeping came and knocked on the door and freaked us out. They were like, housekeeping. We're like, no, we didn't want to let anybody in because we didn't know what the fuck was going on. Because we had lived in hotels before with my mom, but she had handled all that. So we kind of knew who it was, but we were like, no, you can't come in because we were waiting for my dad. So we finally wait until 11 o'clock. And my dad's car's still outside, still parked in the 3 slots all the way across. And we walk out of the motel and we walk over to my dad's room and we go to knock. We knock on the door and he doesn't answer. And we knock. He doesn't answer. And we open the door and it opens. My dad's hotel room is not locked. We open the door and my dad is passed out on the bed in his clothes, face down. And his wallet's like thrown on the floor. You know what I mean? Like the bedding is destroyed. I don't, as an older me now looks back, he might have had some company. And maybe that company had decided they wanted to investigate my dad's wallet once he passed out from being drunk. I have no idea. But 10-year-old me only knows that dad's asleep. So with 2 empty Early Times bottles on the floor near his wallet, big fifths, like is that a fifth? The one that's shaped like a flask? Yeah, that was my dad's drink. That's the one I would find in the toilet tank, or I would find in the linen closet under the towels. So we wake my dad up. We're like, Dad, we got to go to Kittyland. We're not, my dad, he's fucking out of his mind, bombed. He's going to get up. I take the coldest of cold showers. So we shake him and we're like, Dad, wake up. Dad, wake up. My dad won't wake up. So Lenny is like, I think Dad's sick. And because he's trying to basically calm us down because he won't wake up. So we're, you don't think your dad's dead, but you immediately wonder if something's wrong with him because he won't wake up. And Lenny's like, no, Dad is sick. But I think Lenny knew that my dad was drunk, passed out. And so housekeeping comes by and they poke their head in on my dad. And they're like, housekeeping? And we're like, no, I'm sorry. Unless you're going to sweep up my father, I don't think there's any reason for you to come in here right now. I mean, you can see that we're in here. And so we walk over to the other room, and they're making up the room. They're making up our old room. And so we go to get our stuff, and we're going to go in my dad's room. And the maid says, are you checking out? And we go, we don't know. We're waiting for our dad. And she goes, oh, check out at 11 o'clock. And we said, okay. She goes, so you have to go. Shoo. And she wouldn't let us in the room. So we had to go in and get all of our stuff. All of our clothes and our toys and our shoes and whatever the fuck, and get dressed really fast and leave. She wouldn't let us into the room anymore because she had made it up and they were going to rent it because it was checkout time. So we went into my father's room before they could fucking do anything there, and we closed the door, and we go to wake my dad up and he won't get up. My dad, he's not even making noises. Like he's breathing this really labored breathing, but he's fucking bombed out of his skull and he's face down. He won't, we're shaking him. Like all 5 kids are shaking him and he doesn't even stir. So Lenny says, we got to leave. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, we should leave. We need to call Mom. I said, wait, well, why don't we just wait till Dad wakes up? He goes, Dad's not going to wake up. And then Andy and Glenn are like, well, we're going to go to Kittyland. Lenny's like, we're not going to Kittyland. Guys, Dad is sick. All right. And so we need to get Mom on the phone and we need to call her. And believe me, it's not like my mom is spending her Father's Day in a Calgon bath, you know what I mean, because her kids are away. My mom is probably out gallivanting and doing the things that a lady that likes to go out and drink is doing as well. And when I say goes out, but my mom wasn't an alcoholic, but she would go party all the time, because she was a friend of Eddie Murphy and Rick James. So Lenny picks up the phone there in the hotel room. There's no dial tone. We can't call. And we look on the side of the phone. You have to put a quarter in the phone to use it. I'm surprised you could even pick it up. I thought you couldn't pick it up unless you put a quarter in, whatever, because it had that bar on it sometimes. But no, you had to put a quarter in the phone to activate it. So we didn't have any money. So Lenny goes, check and see if Dad has money. So we looked in his wallet. There was no money in there. And then we start going through my dad's pockets. He's wearing his clothes. He's got his pants on, but we reach in, and he's got some change. So we pull all the change out, no quarters. My dad's got like dimes and nickels, but he's got no fucking quarters. So Lenny's like, well, we need to leave. Let's just leave. And I go, well, we should tell Dad that we're leaving. He goes, look, he's sick. He's not going to fucking hear us. He doesn't say fuck. All right, we're kids. I said, but we need to tell him that we're leaving. Like he'll tell him where to meet us. He can come get us. And Lenny goes, dude, Dad's drunk. All right. Because he'll talk to me. He won't talk to the guys. He's like, Dad's drunk. He's not going to help us. All right. We need to go and call Mom, and she's got to pick us up. Because Lenny was old enough to hate my father. So we walk outside, and we close the door behind us, lock it. And 5 boys just walked out into the city.
Oh my God.
And we just started walking. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know what we were doing. But we had the change from my dad. So we're walking, And we came upon a diner that was down the block, like one of those, with a counter and all that. So we all walk into this diner, and we all 5 of us sit at the counter. And a guy walks up, and he's like, "Hey, can I help you?" And Lenny said, "Can I get water?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he gave Lenny a glass of water. He goes, "No, for all of us." So the guy made a face. He's like, "Yeah." And he gave us each a glass of water. And I just picture us sitting from the back. It's like literally like big, small, smaller, smaller, smallest, sitting on the 5 counters. And they want to seat people, I'm sure, for Sunday breakfast. It's Father's Day. They got people coming in and out. And Lenny takes all the change and he slides it on the table. And the guy goes, "No, you're okay. You don't need to pay for water." He goes, "Well, no, can you give me quarters for this? Because I have to use a payphone." And the guy says, "Sure." So he scoops it up and he gives Lenny, I think it was like $2 worth of quarters. So we finish drinking our water. And Glenn is reading a menu. And he wants to order breakfast. And Lenny's like, "We can't order breakfast." You know what? He's like Charles Grodin in Midnight Run. As we're sitting there, Glenn's looking. He's like, "Oh, treats on eggs? How much is treats on eggs?" Because Glenn's 8. He just wants to fucking eat. He has no idea. And we all do, quite frankly, because we're starving and we haven't, we ate churros yesterday. My dad didn't exactly buy us a nutritious fucking dinner. He gave us money to spend at an amusement park, and we spent it on goddamn amusement park food, and we stopped eating that at 8. So now it's, noon the next day. We still haven't eaten. So we finish our water, and Lenny's like, "We got to go." And Glenn's like, "Well, no, let's get breakfast." And he's like, "We don't have any money for breakfast. We got to go." He goes, "Well, just tell him that Dad will pay for it. He's next door." "No, Dad's not going to pay for it. Dad's sick." So Lenny gathers us all. We go walking. We just walk the streets looking for a payphone. 5 kids in Melrose Park. Literally, the youngest is 5, the oldest is 12, or whatever the fuck Lenny was. And we just walked. I remember it. And again, there's nothing even interesting about it. It's just that... just the feeling of being a child in the city with nothing. You know what I mean? Because we had done this before with my mom. I told you we had stayed in and out of hotels. We had stayed in cars. We had stayed in people's basements. So I kind of had that vagabond feeling anyway. But we had just recently put down roots in Romeoville. So we were living in a place that was a house, and we were going to school. But this kind of dredged everything back up again. But you know what? We were survivors, man. We had done it before with my mom, and it didn't fucking matter. And, Lenny knew what the fuck he was doing. I mean, he was my dad. He knew. So he takes us to go out and find a payphone. So we find a payphone, and we call our house first, and there's no answer at our house. So we only have one other number that we can call, and we don't want to call it because we've always been told not to call it. It's an emergency number my mom would give us because my mom had a boyfriend named Bob. And Bob would call late at night. And my mom, when the phone would ring at 9 o'clock, or at like 9 or 9:30 at night, we got really excited because we knew my mom was going to spend the night at Bob's. And it meant that we didn't have to go to sleep. We could stay up all night. We could watch TV. We could do whatever the fuck we wanted because my mom was going to Bob's. We never met Bob. We just knew Bob was my mom's boyfriend. And we would answer the phone. And "Is Pat there? Who's this?" "Bob." "Is your mom there?" "Bob." So my mom, when she would go, she would leave Bob's number with us. And she would say, "That's an emergency. If anything happens, you call me." Don't call me. Because honestly, I'm sure my mom wanted to keep Bob away from the 5 animal boys that she had as far away as she possibly could. So she'd keep him as a boyfriend. But at this point, we really had no choice. So we had to call Bob. And we dialed the payphone. And by this time, it's like 1 PM. Bob answers. Thankfully, because we thought we'd get a machine. But Bob answers, and Lenny says, "Hey, Bob, I'm sorry to bother you, but this is Lenny. I'm Pat's son. Is she there?" And he's like, "No, she left already. She was here, but she should be coming back." And he goes, "Okay, well, I have this number. If I could leave it for her, that's great. And then I'll try to call her. When do you think she'll be back?" He goes, "She'll be back in a half hour." He goes, "All right, we'll try then." So he left the payphone number, and he said, "Well, we will call back in a half hour." And then we walked. We went out and we walked around looking for, somewhere to sit. There was a bus bench, so we went and sat at the bus bench. And I remember sitting there vividly. I'm 10 years old, watching traffic go by, that smell of the city, hearing the noises. And I wasn't even thinking about Kittyland anymore. I wasn't thinking about my dad. It was just happening. You know what I mean? It was just something we were experiencing. So time goes by, and none of us has a watch, so we don't know what half hour is going to be. But then Lenny finally goes back to the payphone, and it hasn't rung, but Lenny calls Bob again, hoping it's been a half an hour. And Bob answers, and he goes, it's Lenny, and he goes, yeah, hold on. And he puts my mom on the phone, and Lenny tells her, I'm sure he told her he told my mom that my dad was drunk and we had left. And because then I see him looking, and he's like, what street is this? And he asks us what street we're on, and we have to tell him the cross streets and all this stuff. And he tells my mom, and she's like, all right. And he hangs up the phone, and he comes over and he goes, Mom's coming to get us. So we sat at the bus bench. We waited for my mom to go from Bolingbrook to Melrose Park. And we looked at the traffic pass by. We watched everything happening. And Glenn, of course, wanted to go get something to eat. We're like, hold on, Mom's on the way. Don't worry. And then Andy wants to know if we're going to Kittyland. No, we're probably not going to Kittyland. Mom's coming to pick us up, and then we're going to go home. Well, do you think Dad is awake? Do you think he's still sick? Yes, we think Dad is. Lenny's the father. He's answering all these questions from our younger brothers. Do you think, and poor Scott, he's 5. You know what I mean? He doesn't know what's happening. But then again, good for him being 5 and not knowing what's happening, because he didn't even know that he missed Kittyland. He had no fucking idea. He probably had no concept of it. He's just like, for him, this is an amusement park. He's like, oh, we're on the payphone ride. We were at the diner ride and had the water ride, and now we're up at the bus stop ride. When you're 5, everything's a fucking adventure. That's great. So time goes by. I have no idea how much time. And eventually I see my mom pull up in the shitbox car that my uncle gave her, because for some reason the courts deemed it possible for my dad to get the family car. And my mom's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she pulls into the parking lot behind us. It was just like a bank or a donut shop. I don't know what the fuck it was. The payphone was on the corner, and behind us there was a business. And my mom pulls in. She's like, are you okay? Oh, my God, are you okay? Yeah, we're fine. We're okay. And we get in the car. And she goes, where were you staying? And she goes, well, we were staying in a hotel, down the street. We don't know where. And my mom starts to drive, and we must have walked like 2 miles away from this hotel. And my mom, I go, when Lenny's like, are we going home? She's like, no, I'm going to go talk to your father. So, look, I don't understand that. Just go home at this point. You've saved us. However, my little brother is like, no, good. Now we're on the mom and dad fight ride. So my mom drives back to the hotel, and unbelievably, she pulls up, and my dad is in the parking lot. He's down there by his car, and he's dressed, and he's with a woman who I can only assume was the woman from the previous night. And it's so funny. I will never forget the way this woman looked. I will never forget. You know what she looked like? She looked like Wendy O. Williams from the Plasmatics in the face. Wow. Like literally in the face. She had that hatchet face look, and she had skunk hair. She had it was white and black, like white on top with black around it. And she just was and she looked like a skeleton. She was a fucking floozy. And my mom pulls up, screeches the car to a fucking halt, and she just starts screaming at my dad. And what the fuck is wrong with you? You let these fucking kids walk around the fucking city without you? You get fucking drunk? I can't trust you to take these kids for 2 fucking days? The fucking court gives you 2 days, and you can't stay sober for 2 fucking days to be with your own kids? And he's yelling, fuck you, and he's yelling at my mom. They're fighting, and that fucking crone is just standing there off to the side. And they're going at it. My mom's just like, you know what? You'll never see these fucking kids again. You will never see these fucking kids again. And I'm in the backseat of the car. We got our windows rolled down. We're hearing everything. And I'm like, hey, don't I get a vote in this? I mean, I want to see my dad again. You can't say that I can't see him again, but I'm staying out of it because my mom and dad are yelling, and the crone is not involved, thankfully, because my mom would have fucking beat the shit out of her probably. And I remember this so vividly. My mom goes to pull away, and the crone is in front of the car, and my mom's like, move, get out of the fucking way, asshole. And she honks, and my mom's going slow. And my dad goes, he goes, hey, he goes, watch where you're going, pig. He called my mom a pig, and it was like, and they were saying fuck and you asshole and fuck you, and that didn't faze me because that was just language. But when he said that, it was just like so vivid, and I can still see him say it and hear it in his voice. Watch where you're going, pig, because now he's defending like that chick and against my mom, and we're in the car, and my mom's honking the horn, and my dad is, because my mom's pulling away, my dad is right by the back window where I am, and I looked out at him. And he was so mad, but then he looked at me, and he smiled at me. It was the stupidest thing in the world. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if he, almost like in that moment, he realized that he was putting on a very bad show for his kids. And he looked at me and he smiled just like a small smile. And I said, Happy Father's Day. And and he looked at me, and I remember his face was like so weird, like, oh yeah, it is Father's Day. And it like brought him into the moment, I think, out of everything. And then the crone moved and my mom floored it and we got the fuck out of there. But that's how the relationship was with my dad. You know what I mean? It didn't matter to me what was happening. He had just called my mom a pig, and I still drop Happy Father's Day on him because I don't know if I'm trying to fix the situation or save it or whatever. He was still my father no matter what happened. So I was the guy who always gave my dad slack. I was the guy who always, no matter what, he would call the house, and I would let him talk to me. I didn't care. He would, my brothers would roll their eyes. They didn't want to talk to him or whatever. They would give me the phone, and I would sit there forever and just let him talk to me my whole life after the divorce. This is in 78 that this happened. So like I said, I was 11, going to be 12 or 10, whatever the fuck. Who cares? Might have been 77. No, 78. I'm bad. I should figure out my dates. I should sit down. I need a process. So a couple years later, it's the summer of 1980, and we haven't seen my dad. My mom, true to her word, had made sure that we were not going to see him again. And, we were also getting to the point where we were making decisions where we didn't want to see him, and he was busy drinking in Wisconsin, so that was fine. But he would still call, and he would talk to us, and I would listen to him, every word he said. Except now I was getting older. And because I was getting older, I was starting to realize what he'd done. And as I was realizing what he'd done, I started to resent him, and I started to be really angry at him. So he called me for my birthday in 1980. And I called him about 2 weeks before my birthday. And he was drunk. I mean, crazy drunk. It was like 11:30 in the morning because we were home for summer. And Lenny took the phone, and he's like, oh, he wants to talk to you. And he gave me the phone. And my dad started to talk, and I was like, hey, Dad, and I let him talk some. And as he talked to me, I started to make fun of him, like make faces at the phone. And my brother would come in the room, and we were just like, I would give him the phone, and we were like passing it like hot potato because neither one of us wanted to talk to him. It's like, you talk to him. No, you talk to him. And I had never done that, man. I had never done that. I had always been the guy, who took the phone and just sat there and took it because he was my dad, and I thought I was supposed to. And because I wanted him to be my dad. So we're passing the phone back and forth, and I'm joking around, and I put the phone in my ear. My dad is still talking, and I just go, yeah, uh-huh. And I lay the phone down on the countertop, and I leave. And I went out into the living room, and Lenny's like, aren't you on the phone with Dad? I go, blah, blah, blah. He's still talking. And we start laughing. We're joking around. And I go back in the room like 2 minutes later, and pick up the phone. He's still talking. He has no idea that I'm not even there. Because, again, he's just drunk, and he's just talking. And I made faces and made fun of him and laid the phone down and goofed around all I could and said, all right, Dad, I got to go. And because I had to go play baseball. It was very important. And he was like, okay, well, I just wanted to say happy birthday. And I said, yeah, I know. All right. Well, thanks for calling. I'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye. Hang up the phone. And then a week later, he died. So the last time I ever talked to him, I made fun of him, which was tough to deal with. And I probably shouldn't say was in that sentence. I think that's an is. That's definitely an is sentence. Even though it shouldn't be. I mean, that shouldn't be the case. I mean, it's 30 years later, and you would think you would let that go, but you don't. You never do. You know what I mean? Really, the only good thing that came out of it is I realized that it didn't pay to be a sarcastic dick, so I went ahead and changed my ways at 13. Once I saw that my sarcasm had the power to kill, I decided to rein it in and end my reign of terror. And walk the straight and narrow and always say what I mean. That's awful. So you see what I mean when I said that part of the story did not belong in there, because the natural ending should have been when we drove away, and unfortunately I looked in his face and said Happy Father's Day, because that should have been, but I felt like I had alluded to it and I had to tell you that part anyway. And because let's face it, who doesn't want to tell you about the time their dad died, right? And the fact that you were responsible by making Groucho eyebrows and pointing at the phone and laughing. You killed your father through AT&T. That's a story you want to share at all times. Hey, I'm a bastard, and it's my fault. Ha ha! I killed my dad. Good to see you. That's a story you want to share with everybody. And so, yeah, that'll explain why I can't see a movie with a dad telling it. Any Lifesavers commercial makes me fucking fall apart half the time. So, so that was, I don't even know why I got in. I do. Well, I was telling you about my dad, and it seemed appropriate. Why not peel back the onion and show you just what a terrible fucking person I am? I was reminded of that story. And again, you want to talk about process and storytelling. I don't know whether that should have ended the show or not. But I'm going to tell you this anyway. This weekend, I was at work. I was in Graveyardville. Saturday night, I was there. And I was hungry. It was like the middle of the night because, again, I live upside down, so my dinner's at a different time than yours. Don't judge me. So I had to leave work and go pick up a hamburger. I was going to go to In-N-Out. So I go to, there's In-N-Out is up on Lancashire Boulevard, which is, it's about 5 miles from where I work. So, just lock the door, go, take off, and it's real easy. I've done it before. You go get a hamburger in a drive-thru and you go back to work. So when I leave, I had to grab my phone. I made sure to grab my phone and I grab my laptop and I throw them in the car. Because I don't know if you've heard, the guard is off. So if the guard's not there, I'm certainly not going to leave my phone and my laptop in the office because he's not there to protect it. So I scoop up anything of value and I throw it in my car to go get a hamburger and come back. Because that's where I live in my fucking life right now. I have to grab my valuables to go get a hamburger and go back to my job. Death. So I hop in the car, I go up to In-N-Out, and it's busy because it's, it's like they close at 1:30, so I go around 1, I wait as long as I possibly can. And there's 5 cars in each drive-thru. And In-N-Out is a never-ending puzzle, by the way. In-N-Out Burger, if you've never been there, it's fucking awesome, first of all. And it's really good. And they make the burgers fresh. And it's like a puzzle where you just tell them anything you want, and they'll make the hamburger. Like this weird... They got an animal style, they got a mustard fry, they got a secret menu, all these bullshit things. So lately when I've been going, I keep changing my order because I'm trying to find a perfect burger because I'm fat. And so I'm like, all right, well, I keep... here's what drives me fucking crazy, though, about In-N-Out, okay? Shut the fuck up. If I pull up to the speaker or whatever and you go, hey, what do you want? I'll tell you what I want. I'm going to start telling you. It reminds me, there's a sketch on the Tenacious D album where fucking Jack Black is talking to a speaker and the guy keeps talking to him and then finally he goes, shut up and listen to my order. And I want to say that every time I go to In-N-Out because you'll say, hey, I want a double-double, and you'll breathe in. I'll actually breathe in, and they come on and they go, do you want onions? And I go, yes, I'm about to tell you what I want. Here's what I want. And you start to tell them, because here's a double-double comes with lettuce, tomato, Thousand Island dressing, and that's it. That's what comes on a double-double. So I'm about to tell them, I'm going to go, look, I want a double-double, add pickle, no tomato, no spread, extra grilled onions. And, I'm going to tell them there's a list. But they go, do you want onion? And I go, I want grilled onion. I go, okay, that's a double-double grilled onion drive-thru. No, fucker. This is what I want. Listen to me. I don't want any tomato. Okay, no tomato, no problem. Just pull up to the window. No! Because they're in a fucking hurry. They want to get you out of there because it's in and out. It's not in... have a long discussion about condiments and out. It's in and get the fuck out. So they're not prepared for me with my, fat guy list of what the fuck I want on my hamburger and what I don't want on my hamburger. So it drives me crazy. So I pull up to the speaker, and I will tell you this too: they have a guy come out with like a mobile board, and he's easier to talk to because and I've even said to that guy, I go, look, how am I supposed to order from you people? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, just say what you want. And I go, I do. I try, but then they cut me off. They try to hustle me through the window. He goes, oh, that's because we're in a hurry. And I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit, you're in a hurry. So then he and I, of course, as I talk to him, that just bogs down the fucking line. Because now it's in, and here's my problem with the way you guys do business, and out. Here's my in and a small discussion about your career choice, and out. So I place my order. I get my fucking hamburger. I'm pulling up. And the thing is, it's always a lottery. You got to figure out which window's going to move faster. Who cares? And you get a box with a lid. You get it's a whole production. But hamburger's worth it. So they're closing, so they're fucking packed. I'm moving up slowly. Pay for my hamburger. Wait for them. And here's what I've done lately, because I know July 1st is looming, and July 1st is when everything ends. All right, everything falls apart, and I go back to the life of a Spartan man trying to lose real weight and fix his old feet. So I'm starting to get it. I'll get like a chocolate shake, and what I'll do is, all right, this is horrible. I will go to In-N-Out, and I will get an In-N-Out burger, and then I will get a chocolate shake from them, and then I will leave, and I will go. There's a McDonald's down the street, like about 3 miles, and I will go there, and I will get fries and a Coke. Because McDonald's Coke can't be beat, McDonald's fries can't be beat. So I've been doing that, and it's like I'm like, dude, you are so fucking fat. What is wrong with you? This obstacle course to get food. They have fries at In-N-Out. They're fine. They are good, but they're not McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries are awesome. And then you get a chocolate shake, and you fucking dip like fries in the shake, salty fries in a chocolate shake. Oh my God, it's the greatest of all time. You know what? You guys can get me at mike@mikesmithcomedy.com. I'm going now. To get a fucking chocolate shake and salty fries. That's it. So that's it. We're going. She and I will take off. We'll be back.
I'm in.
And just eating on the fucking show. Terrible. So I will never eat on the show. Horrible. Especially fat guy. Like if I was a thin guy, maybe I could get away with eating on the show, but fat guy cannot get away with eating on show, because then everybody's like, oh, fat guy was eating on show. Because they don't want to think about fat guy doing anything good or nice or fun. They just want to think about fat guy killing his dad. All right, so I'm at In-N-Out. I get my food, and I have to juggle. All right, it's a big production because again, get out, In-N-Out, get out, out. So I have cup holders, but I have a water and a Propel in the cup holder, and I have to put them on the seat because then I have to make room for the Coke and the shake. So I pull out and I go fuck this. So I just turn left onto Lancashire and I park, because I'm not going to sit there and block the guy who's getting his food. And so I park on the street, and I put the 2 drinks over on the seat, and I drop my phone. Phone drops by my ankles, so I put it in park. I bend over, I grab my phone, and I've got the hamburger, and I go, oh, fuck. So I go to put the hamburger in the back seat, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a shadow, and it's someone moving, and I don't know what it is. And all of a sudden, my passenger door opens, and someone gets in my car. At 1:30 in the morning on Lancashire Boulevard on Saturday night, this person just gets in my car and closes the door. I put my hamburger. I'm all bent down. I'm like getting my fucking phone. I'm bent. I'm not even looking. I'm just oblivious. I'm trying to fucking fix my car. And I lean back and I put the burger on the floor. And as I turn my head back to get my phone, I see the door and I hear the light goes on in the dome, and they climb in and they slam the door. And I look up, and it's a woman in my car. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? And she goes, hey, baby. And I go, what the fuck are you doing in my car?
Oh my God.
And she goes, well, you pulled over for me. I said, no, I didn't. Get the fuck out of my car. And she goes, can I touch you? And I go, no, you can't fucking touch me. Get the fuck out of my car. And she goes, well, if you don't let me touch you, then I have to think that you're a cop. And I go, I got news for you. If I was a cop, I would have shot you in the face when you got in my fucking car. Get the fuck out of my car. And I all of a sudden it starts to unfold on me. I look, she's wearing like her tits are out, like in a like a spangly bra and short shorts. And again, I'm not making the connection. All I know is she's in my fucking car and it's dark. I'm on Lancashire. I got a fucking hamburger. I'm like, Why are you in my fucking car? Get out. Get out of my fucking car. And the door, it's funny. My doors are always locked. My doors are always fucking locked, but they weren't locked this time because when I left my work, I unlocked all 4 doors to get stuff out of my back seat and put it in my car, like in my office, and I never leave the car. Oh, fuck. All these things where you think back, you're like, if the door was locked, this wouldn't have happened. None of this would have fucking happened. So she's like, well, I think you're a cop. I go, I'd shot you in the face if you were in my fucking car and I was a cop. Get the fuck out of my car. And she goes, come on, baby. She goes, it's $80 for everything, $60 for a blowjob. And I'm frozen, and I don't know what the fuck to do. So I go, get the fuck out of my car. Because you know what it is? I'm getting louder, trying to scare her. Because look, if it's a guy, I just can punch my way out of it. You know what I mean? Literally, I just jump on the fucking guy and I beat the fuck out of him until he oozes out of the fucking passenger seat. But a chick, I mean, that's a whole different animal. I don't know what the fuck to do. I certainly can't put my hands on her. I can't drag her out of the fucking car. I can't yell for a cop because now I got a hooker in my fucking car. She has to be a hooker, right? That's the only thing I can think. She's got to be a hooker because she just said 80 for everything, 60 for a blowjob. And I go, I don't want anything. I want nothing. Get out of my car. Just get out of my fucking car. She goes, come on, baby. It's 80 for everything, 60 for a blowjob. I go, get out of my car now. Get the fuck out of my car. She goes, well, why did you pull over if you didn't want me to get in? I go, I pulled over because I dropped my fucking phone. I'm moving shit. And she reaches under and she's sitting on she just dove into my fucking car. Like she's sitting on my Propel and my water. Thank God I didn't have the hamburger there. She brought a fucking dove on top of that. And she like pulls them out and she's like, oh, what's this? And she pulls the drinks out and throws them on the floor. And as I look at her, I go, I'm trying to get louder. It's like trying to scare a possum away from your garbage. I'm thinking the louder I get, I can scare her and she'll get out of my car. It's like, tss, tss. Like if I had a broom, I'd be waving it at her like, go, shoo. But I'm like, get the fuck out of my car. Why are you in my car? She's like, why'd you pull over? I go, I didn't pull over. I'm pulling over I dropped my phone. I'm setting my shit up. I just bought a hamburger. I'm going to fucking work. Get out of my car. She goes, well, I'm already at work, baby. I go, get out of my car. And as I'm yelling at her, a cop comes up. He drives past me slowly, and then he keeps going and kind of stops and hits his brake lights. And then I'm frozen. I can't fucking believe it because this chick's in my car and she goes, don't say anything, baby. What the fuck am I going to say? They stop and then they go to do a U-turn and they pull into the In-N-Out parking lot to get hamburgers. So they go to eat and she's in the car and I'm sitting there and I go, I realize the situation. There's a hooker in my car. I can't hit her. I can't drag her out. I can't get out and fucking tell her because I'm not going to leave her in my fucking car. And she won't get out of my car. And if I wave down a cop, all she's got to do is say rape. She can say, and she holds all the fucking cards at this moment. All this flashes through my fucking head because there's a girl in a half shirt I'm in a shorts and a winter coat. I look like a fucking molester from The Jump anyway. I look horrible. So I don't know what the fuck to do. She goes, don't say anything, baby, when the cops go to the thing. And the only defense I have is that I have a hamburger in the car. Like, the only thing I could say to the cops, I could be like, she jumped in my car. Dude, I have a fucking burger in the car. Why the fuck would I get a hooker? Honestly, why would I get the burger first and the hooker second? Does that make sense to anybody? But again, you got to think the cops are going to realize that, you're just a fat guy. They got to think that I'm like a guy who wants to eat a double-double while he gets knuckle shuffled. I don't know what the fuck goes on. Like, I got some weird fetish. I'm not going to win in this fucking equation. It's not going to happen. So I quiet down, and the cops go to get, and I look at her and I go, please get out of my car. Please. She goes, are you sure? I told you it's $80 for everything and $60 for a blowjob. I go, I'm going to work. I have dinner. I didn't know you were here. Get out of my car. She goes, all right, well, baby, just give me a ride to Denny's. And I go, I don't want to give you a ride anywhere. She goes, please, it's so cold out tonight. Please. And I'm wearing, because she was wearing shorts, fucking stacked lucite heel. I mean, she was dressed. She looked like she walked off stage at Deja Vu and got into my fucking car. If I was Billy Ocean, I was Billy Ocean at Deja Vu. And I said, get off of that stage and get into my car. Because she was dressed, she was a stripper. And she had to be 20. I mean, it was so brutal. I mean, she was fucking hot. I can't get around that. I didn't look at her face. Like, I just looked at her. I mean, she had a hot body, but it was like, get out of my car. And she goes, just give me a ride to Denny's, baby. And I'm like, if I give you a ride to Denny's, will you get out of my car? And she goes, yes, it's so cold. I don't want to walk back. Just give me a ride to Denny's, baby. So I go, all right. Denny's is like 2 miles up the street. What am I going to do? I can't drag her out. I can't tackle her. I can't yell. What am I going to get out and run? Cops! I mean, you know what I mean? Unless she's got a weapon in her purse, and I guess I can hang that on her. I don't fucking know. I just want her out of the car. And your brain's not thinking, I got to get back to work. All this fucking shit's flying through my head.
Oh my God.
But she was so young. That was the thing that drove me crazy. Like, she was such a young kid. I say 20. That might be generous. But I said, all right. So I go driving. I pull out, and I'm like, I can't speed. I got to use my signals. I buckle up, and I go, put your seatbelt on. And she says, what? I go, put your seatbelt on. I'm not going to get pulled over because you're not wearing a seatbelt, and all of a sudden you're in my fucking car. Put your seatbelt on. She goes, okay, baby. She fucking puts the seatbelt on.
Oh my God.
I pull in, and there's nobody else on Lancashire. It's fucking dead. It's 1:30 in the morning. So I pull out, and I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm just praying that I don't get pulled over. I don't want, and as I'm driving, sure enough, the next street, cop pulls out. And he stops, and I'm waiting for him to turn, and he doesn't, and so I just keep going. And I just know. I know they're going to look in the car. There's a stoplight coming up, and there's people at the stoplight. I start going extra slow. I don't want to get next to anybody at the stoplight. Because anybody who turns and looks in the car is going to see fat idiot in winter coat with crazy young hot girl in spangly bra. Unless she's my daughter and I just fetched her from a party and she's out past curfew, you know something's wrong with this equation. You have to think she's got a gun in her ribs at that point, right? I'd call for help immediately. So I go slow at the stoplight. The other cop pulls out behind me. So now I'm like, I can't go too slow because he's going to pull me over, but I also don't want him to look in the car. So I just drive normal, and I drive normal. I'm driving up Lancashire. And she goes, you're going to go all the way to Denny's, baby? I go, yes, that's fine. I go, can I let you off at the train station? No, just at Denny's. You don't have to take me all the way to the train station. Because in my head, I thought the train station was before Denny's, but it's not. Like, I'm that confused. I just want her to get the fuck out of my car. But at the same time, I'm a man.
Oh God.
So I calm down. She's in the car, and I'm still freaked out. But she's going, yeah, baby, you know it's so cold. And she's still talking. She won't stop talking. And I look at her as I'm driving. I go, did you say $80 for everything? And she goes, yeah, why? Do you want everything? And I go, no, I don't want anything. But what is everything?
Oh my God.
And I'm driving because I want to know. Yeah, I got to know at that point. And she goes, everything. She goes, 80 for everything, 60 for a blowjob. And I said, does 80 include ass? Because those of you that know, I've dealt with, like, there have been hookers at my building, and I walked that one to the car that one time. I remember, and I said, are you working? Because I'm stupid. Because I want to know what the going rates. I want to know what the fuck is happening. But now I've got a live one in my car. How do I can't pass up the chance. As freaked out and weird as I am, because again, if you know anything about me, you know that when I get nervous, I fucking talk. All I do is talk, and she won't stop talking, and all I'm doing is I'm going to hear a hooker talking to my fucking car. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're going to get in my car. I'm going to ask her a question. You know what? I'm going to make it a point to ask her a goddamn question. So I go, everything, does 80 include ass? And she goes, no, baby, ass is extra. And I stupidly, because again, I'm an idiot, and I just go, all right, well, I just wanted to know what was on the table with everything. You know, you shouldn't call it everything if ass isn't included. Because I'm trying to be funny now and liven it up because I'm so fucking nervous. I don't know what the fuck to say or do. And she's like, well, you know, I just, you know, everything in $60 for a blowjob. And I go, wait a minute. I go, so 60, and I'm still driving. I see a third cop.
Oh my God.
And he's parked on the street. Like, he's not even looking for anybody. And I got to drive past him. So I see him. So I'm just trying to I'm nervous and trying to keep it light in the car. And, because again, she could roll down the window and scream rape, any fucking thing. I'm just trying to keep her focused. So I go, wait a minute, 80 for everything, 60 for a blowjob? She goes, yeah. And I go, why is there only a $20 separation for a vagina? That doesn't make any sense. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, everything should be more than 80 if a blowjob is 60. Now I'm managing this girl. All of a sudden now I take her under my wing and I see her make a face and she's like, oh, yeah, that's right, baby. And I think she's just like, now she wants to get out of the car. It's funny. Now that I'm asking her questions, she's like, I got to get the fuck out of this car. Because all of a sudden now I'm a pimp. So I drive and there's Denny's and I finally see it. It's like that big yellow fucking sign. I'm like, oh my God. And the thing is, this Denny's, you have to go all the way to a stoplight and then turn left and then turn into the Denny's parking lot. Or there's a do not enter ramp that is a shortcut right into fucking Denny's. And I pull over. I'm getting her out of my car. I'm pulling into the do not enter. She goes, no, go to the stoplight, baby. And I go, I just want you out of my car. I'm going in here. She goes, what if you get pulled over? Like now she's on my side looking out for me. And I go, good point. And I pull up right to the fucking stoplight and it stops. So now I'm at a stoplight, making a left-hand turn, hook her in the car. And I finally get a look at her and hot, but young and sad. Like just so sad. And got in my car, like just because I pulled over. What the fuck? Why are you, horrible life. So light turns green. I turn left. She goes, just pull right into Denny's, baby. Yeah, you don't have to fucking tell me 9 times. So I pull into Denny's, and it's dark in the parking lot, but then there's a light. And I'm getting by the light. I am not going by the dark at all. And I pull into the fucking light, and the parking lot has people in it, and I don't want them to see a hooker get out of my car. I'm like, oh, fuck this. So I say, wait till these people leave. And they walk in front of the car, and they walk over to their car. It's 2 Hispanic guys and an Asian guy, and they're together, and they walk. And they go to their car. It's a silver Lexus. It's parked on the side. And they stand talking in the fucking Denny's parking lot under the light. So now this chick she's in the car and I don't want her to get out. And we're in the light. They're close. And I'm like, and I go, you know what? Just get out. Go ahead. It's fine. She goes, I can get out right here, baby. I go, okay, that's fine. She goes, thanks so much for the ride. I go, no problem. She opens the door and her heels click on the ground. And she reaches down and she picks up my Propel that she had sat on and thrown on the floor. And she goes, I'm going to take this. Is that okay, baby? It's a half-drunk Propel that was in my car. And in my head, like, what am I going to say? No? Sorry, yeah, take it. Because it's honestly, I'm a fan of blueberry pomegranate, not blueberry pomegranate hooker ass. That's not... I want to go steam clean my fucking car because you set your $80 for everything ass in my passenger seat. Go ahead and take the beverage you sat on. So she picks it up and opens it. She goes, I'm going to take this. Is that okay, baby? And then drinks it. Doesn't even wait for me to say it's okay. And by this time, it's fucking 2 a.m. Oh my God. A half hour. She's been in my car a half hour. And I go, it's fine. Take it. Just go. And she goes, okay. And she goes to close the door and she turns around. She goes, Happy Father's Day, baby. And she closed the door. And she walks right over to those guys and talks to them and hugs them all and then gets in their car. And I sat there fucking shaking I'm literally arms and hands shaking in the middle of the parking lot under the light, shaking, watching her walk off. And then she gets in the car with 3 guys and they drive off. And all I could think when she left, and I'm sitting there and she was so young and I'm shaking and I teared up. I did. I got sad because she was alone, man. She was so alone. She got in a car with a guy she had no fucking idea who it was. And then she got in a car with 3 guys. And to look at me and say Happy Father's Day before she left. And that's what made me think of the story I told earlier. Because as sad as I was at 10 years old to say that to my dad, I think I was even more sad at 43 years old to hear that from that girl. Because, seriously, if she had anybody in her life that she could say that to and mean it, she's probably not jumping into my fucking car at 2 o'clock in the morning on a goddamn empty street. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow Lily Von Stupp at twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp. You can go ahead and follow her at twitter.com/MNTs. And if you want to write her a personal note and find out where I thought which story should go and how many questions I had about the structure of this show, that's my process, Kathy. You can write Lily a personal note at lily@burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. His name is Jeff Wasson, eh? His name is Jeff Wasson, eh? His name is Jeff Wasson, eh? His name is Chris Woods, eh? His name is Chris Woods, eh? His name is Chris Woods, eh? Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Whew. Trying to come down, folks, after that emotional story, which I did not listen to. I told it a while ago. I actually did that story on stage. Did I ever tell that story? I did that story on stage about a week later, and that was weird because it was a comedy show, and people were like, what the fuck are you telling that story for? And it's so funny. It's one of those stories I think I could tell at the Moth or Risk or one of those, but you know, I get 9 minutes on stage. You just heard that fucking story. It's a million years long. Which that seems long. That's kind of long. I got to scale it back. It's not a million years long. That would seem very, very long. The dinosaurs were alive when I started that story. That seems, that's really an overshoot on how long that story is, right? I got to scale it down. Folks, I apologize. I speak in grandiose terms. Speaking of the Monday Night Teas, as I've mentioned, the greatest and longest running and best burlesque show in the history of the world. Started a million years ago by my friend Lily Von Stupp in her infancy, when she was just a tiny little velociraptor. Now she's grown up into a big Tyrannosaurus Rex. We're proud of her. Why would you switch species? I have no idea. That's what happens over a million years. It's called evolution, Lily. Look it up. So the Monday Night Teas, folks, at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine every Monday night at 10 o'clock p.m. I happen to know the producer. As I've mentioned her by name. I've name-checked her a few times in this show. Lily Von Stupp. She's right here. Hey, Lily.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fabulous.
You're wearing thin clothing today. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're wearing one piece of thin clothing. Yeah, go to the side. I like that profile shot. It's a good look. So last week's show went extremely well, and you just showed me a clip from 2 weeks ago, which I really enjoyed. Last week was it wasn't a theme, but you had a few people there, and
I had an
magician.
incredible magician at the show. Another, I'm very lucky. I have a lot of world-class, well-known magicians as friends that will come in and do my show.
Cool.
So I'm very lucky.
This week's show is.
I am hosting. We have 8 girls and a guy taking his clothes off.
What the? Which guy?
The guy is taking his clothes off for a salute to George Washington for Independence Day.
So, like, hey, chop down this cherry tree, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Totally. I cannot tell a lie. That's a cock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all those things.
Okay. And in honor of George Washington, he will only be a quarter hard. Who's this person who's coming out? Which the guy?
Wolfgang Wolfwhistle.
Wolfgang Wolfwhistle. Of course.
It's a comedy piece more than anything else.
Well, don't tell him that. He's very proud of
He
it.
knows that. He knows that. It's a comedy.
Oh, you're talking about the act.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was talking about his joint.
No, I'm sure his joint is perfectly fine. His girlfriend seems to like it.
That's all that matters.
It's very true.
She blows the wolf whistle. He's happy. He comes running. So there you go. The exciting Wolfgang von Wolfwhistle. No, there's no von.
No.
Just Wolfgang Wolfwhistle. It's a lot of W's. Wolfgang Wolfwhistle. That's how Stewie would say it. Wolfgang Wolfwhistle.
Why would he say that? There's no H. No, there is.
Wolfgang Wolfwhistle.
He would no. It would be whistle, but it would
Wolfgang
be
Wolfwhistle.
It would be Wolfgang Wolfwhistle.
I don't know. I think they take liberties on Family Guy.
Really? You think they take liberties on a cartoon?
They
show?
might. They just might.
Imagine.
And actually, you know what's weird? I think Wolfgang Wolfwhistle lives next door to Quagmire. It's like there's Quagmire, and then on the next house over, Wolfgang Wolfwhistle. Certainly. So that's big, and you're there. You're hosting.
I am.
Doing your hosting nonsense. Will you show your nipples to people?
I will be performing, so yes.
Look at that.
I will
Hosting.
actually be showing my nipples. I will be showing as close to areola as you can get.
Wow. So you'll have a pasty thing.
I will.
All right. That's fine.
80% naked is not enough.
It's well, I mean, but yeah, I know it's fine. I enjoy it. Well, I mean, I come here every week, don't I? You're practically 98% naked now. Yeah. So, all right. Well, good. That's big. The Monday night tease every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Check it out. It's going to be exciting this week, especially. And our tickets still available for the Prince show.
Yeah, but it is standing room only.
Standing room only tickets are available for July 9th. That's the Prince show. Erotic Titty. Should be great. I'm excited. I've heard a lot of behind the scenes type of stuff.
And t-shirts are for sale on Zazzle.
If you go to Zazzle.com, you will not only be able to go there and buy Fireboy mugs and my Thorgar and Yeet mugs, but if you search Monday Night Tees, there's a Lily Von Stupp store or a Monday Night Tees. Search whatever. It's got all the keywords, whatever you'll find. Actually, if you search Lily Von Stupp, you're going to find my stuff too, because I put Lily as a tag for my stuff. But there are erotic titty t-shirts for men and women available at Zazzle.com. So if you want to go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page, there's a Zazzle link. Click through and you'll get to my store. You'll be able to buy a Fireboy mug or a Thorgar and Yeet mug. And while you're there, search for Monday Night Tees or search for Lily Von Stupp, and you will find the erotic titty shirts for men and women. That are both available, different styles. Check it out. Also, while you're at MikeSchmidtComedy.com at the Joe Business page, there's a link for tweakedaudio.com/40. And you can click through there and buy autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and cock ring watches. People are buying those. Thank you so much. I appreciate anybody who steps up and buys those. And then I get an email from Peggy telling me I have money. That's always a good email to get. Also on the Joe Business page, there is a link to buy the download sets for this show. There are year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4 individual download sets available. Or you can buy them all as part of the Podcast the Caribbean set, which has, On Stranger Mikes and Curse of the Black Schmidt, and all of them available for you in a set for only, it's basically 4 for the price of 3. So go ahead and grab that now. Also at MikeSchmidtComedy.com in the upper left-hand corner, there's a donation link. What are you making a face? What happened? Something break? Huh?
Drop my pen.
Oh, you made that face for dropping your pen?
It was loud.
It wasn't that loud.
No, I drew attention to it.
Yes, you did. Well, because your face looks scary. Because she's looking at the computer screen and she made a horrified face, and I was like, "Oh no, did somebody else die? Did something bad happen?"
No, I just watched the little bleep.
Hey, are people still voting? Maybe people are still voting, and she's horrified by that. Voting has ended. I told you, voting had ended. So while you're there at the donation link, you can click on it, and there's a new donation link, and you're going to make fun of me. I understand that. But the reason it's there is because it was actually requested by people who said, you need to put this up. Now there's a $2 donation. There's a $5 a month donation. There's a $10 a month donation. And now there is a $25 a month donation. Wow. Which I know you guys are like, dude, we wouldn't even do the $2 donation. Well, that's you, okay? But there are people out there who weirdly, when I say weirdly, I'm good for them. I'm glad. Well, it could be just an elaborate prank. Maybe they just said put up a $25 one, and they put it up, and they're like, ha ha, dick. I have no idea. But there are people who ask me to put up a $25 a month link, and so I have done so. It is now available in the donation link on MikeSchmidtComedy.com. $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, $25 a month. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the people who are donating every month. People like our friend Michael Hines, who I know donates, and our friend Sarah J. Lombardi donates every month. And there are all sorts of cool people. The Summer of Christine Butcher, she donates every month. And I've mentioned these people, and I will mention others in the future. It's just right now I'm trying to get stuff done. Trying to compile names. Well, because I started to keep names, and then I put them alphabetically, and then it just, everything got away from me because I don't have internet at night. All right. So go to Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. Be my friend, folks. Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can be my friend there. You can write me a note. Sometimes you can go there and vote on things. We have impromptu votes that are available on Facebook.com because we are using social media to its nth degree. Well, I don't know if that's the nth degree, but we're using it. We used it for like 2 minutes. So go to Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. And while you're there are plenty of pages of people who want me to come to their towns and visit them and do shows. Places like Detroit, which is still out there, man. San Antonio, which our friend Arian Brumby went ahead and pumped up on her page, and I appreciate that very much. Arian saw me in Austin. I met her in Austin. And she'd like me to come to San Antonio. So that page is active. There are new pages active. Central Pennsylvania, which I think is going to get cannibalized by the new Philadelphia show. I apologize, Carlisle. The guy who started it actually saw me in Philadelphia. And he's like, dude, there's a black box theater in Carlisle. It's just Smaller towns are hard, man. I mean, it's really difficult for me to go. I have to go to a more metropolitan center because I can draw from people who can get there and take, trains and buses and planes. I got a guy flying from Germany. You think he wants to go to Carlisle, Pennsylvania? I don't think so. I don't mean to discredit Carlisle. I'm sure it's a fantastic place, but I apologize. I think the Philadelphia show has cannibalized the Central Pennsylvania page, but I hope you'll make it out. I understand it's like an hour or maybe 100 miles, or I don't know. I don't know anything about Pennsylvania except they don't want me there. Except you do. You want me there in Central Pennsylvania, and I shun you by going to Philadelphia. What a dick. Still, there's a Central Pennsylvania page, and now there's a Eugene, Oregon page, which may fall by the wayside, not unlike Central Pennsylvania, because I'm going to Portland for the Warrior Dash, as we all know, and I'll start updating that in the next few weeks. But I don't know about doing a show in Eugene. It's maybe, isn't that a college town? I don't know if Eugene is a college town or not. You're from there.
Portland and Eugene.
Really? Are they far apart?
They're far enough.
I can barely do Portland. We'll see. Who knows?
You could just host it in someone's living room.
I should do that. Just fucking Fugazi it, man.
20 guys in a living room.
I'm doing that in Indianapolis. Tickets are on sale for Indianapolis. I'm staying with a friend in Indianapolis now. A woman who has been a huge fan since Never Not Funny, and I never knew Heidi. Because I never played. She works in one of the comedy clubs in Indiana, and so she knows Pardo through that. But I don't know her through there because I don't think I met her. The only place I worked in Indiana, I got fired because I got into a fucking fight at karaoke. Oh God, by what year was that? Year 2, year 1? I don't know when I told that story. But Heidi wrote me and she's like, dude, you can stay in my house. And I was like, oh, that just seemed, I kind of ignored it for a bit because I didn't think she was serious. But then she wrote me again, dude. And I'm like, all right. So that's cool. That works out great. So in Indianapolis, I'm actually staying with someone. So I could Fugazi that all across this great land of ours. I could stay in people's houses. That's what I always think, like a Black Flag. Like when I read Get in the Van, Black Flag either slept in the van or they'd sleep at people's houses and crash on their floor. So my brain always goes to Fugazi doing that when these do DIY type of tours. But, wouldn't it be great if I just started to get people who actually wanted to book me and didn't want to time me and actually got me hotels and I could actually go and pretend like I was an actual entertainer or a performer with a career? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't be. I'm playing the Latvian Society. Tickets are on sale now for Indianapolis. As I mentioned at brownpapertickets.com, that's July 27th at the Indy Fringe Theater. And then tickets are on sale for Green Bay, Wisconsin at the Venture Theater. That's September 14th. That's also a Friday. And tickets are now on sale for October 19th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Latvian Society. And afterwards, the meet and greet, yes, that I have it in the bar in the back. So it'll be great. We'll have that place. Believe me, they're not bringing in Beer Shark Mike or Canadian Spicoli to play that room. Nobody wants to play the Latvian Society but me, unless they bring in like a fucking cabbage roll contest or a pierogi eating. Well, hold on. If they bring in a pierogi eating contest, I'm in. Maybe I book myself for that. Fuck the show. I just do a pierogi eating contest at the Latvian Society. Well, wait, Latvia doesn't make fucking pierogis, do they? What do? They do, like I said, they get fucking cabbage rolls and coffee. They're going to have Jan and Stan Schmengi from SCTV are going to show up. It'll be a huge polka festival. I just booked this like a day ago and I'm shitting on it. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just making fun of the fact that I'm going there. All right. So anyway, tickets are on sale now for, as I've mentioned, July 27th in Indianapolis, September 14th in Green Bay, October 19th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Go to brownpapertickets.com and search my name. You will find all of these ticket pages available. Also, tickets still on sale for Toronto, Canada. That's this week, June 29th, Friday at Comedy Bar. Shows at 7:30, folks. I'm changing it to, no, it's at 8, right?
It's at 8.
They tried to change it and I switched it back. All right, show's at 8 o'clock. Let's all get there at 6. Who cares? You know what? Show starts when the school bunce drops me off. I have no idea. School bunce is in charge. But yeah, come on out to the show. Tickets are on sale right now at brownpapertickets.com. There will be walk-up tickets available, but buy them online. That would be kind of cool. I would love to say I would like to have a bunch of people there who bought tickets online. And then, you know what? I wouldn't mind a steady stream of walk-up people too, just so he's like, oh my God, why is it all about that guy? Just fucking do a good show. What the fuck? All right. Because you know what? Because I don't like anybody. Who cares? Shut up. I lost my shit over one word. What the fuck am I? Does this surprise anybody? All right. So yeah, tickets are on sale for Toronto right now at brownpapertickets.com until Friday morning. And then after that, walk-up tickets will be available for the show at 8 o'clock at the Comedy Bar. And I will do my best to crank it in there before Beer Shark Mice has to get on stage and pretend that they're Vikings working in a pharmacy or whatever the fuck your suggestion you'll give them. I got a suggestion. Stay home. You want a suggestion from the audience? Stay home so Mike can finish his fucking show. Oh, that made me laugh. All right. Hey, also I want to tell you guys, don't forget to go to lapodfest.com. lapodfest.com, because the Los Angeles Podcast Festival is coming up in October. That's actually the week before I go to Philadelphia. It's October 12th, 13th, and 14th. I have no scheduled time for my show. I don't know how many other appearances I'm doing. I don't know if I'm at any other shows. I just know for sure I'm doing a live show and Lily will be there. That's all I know. I don't know how long it'll be. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. Who knows? You don't care. We'll see. But remember, the LA Podfest is available, and Kevin Smith, Adam Carolla, Never Not Funny, The Nerdist, Hardwick, and those guys, they're taking over the fucking world. Of course, Chris Mancini and Graham Elwood are the hosts of it, along with Dave Anthony from Walking the Room with Greg Behrendt. Andy Wood is also there. So, he runs the Bridgetown Comedy Festival. All of these guys have conspired to get together and bring you the LA Podfest. Tickets are on sale now at lapodfest.com, and I guess they have room rates, all sorts of things. If you want to fly in from Germany and check out that show, you can go ahead and do so. Go to lapodfest.com for any and all information that they have, because I can tell you they don't have any show times just yet, because I have not been told of one or told when I'm blocking any time. I don't know. I have no idea. But just know that as the months and weeks further away, eventually in October, I'll be talking live in a room. Also, don't forget that the Comedy Film Nerds book is now on sale. You can go to comedyfilmnerds.com and order it through them. You can go to amazon.com and find the book on there. It's called Comedy Film Nerds. Just search that and you'll find the book. I have 2 chapters in it, and they're funny. And I read some other chapters that made me laugh. And it's great because everybody cross-referenced one another. You know, Graham mentioned me, I mentioned Graham within our chapters. And it's just a fun read, man, because it'll have almost like callbacks buried within. It's really cool. So you should check it out. I find myself picking it up every day and thumbing through and finding new stuff. Comedy Film Nerds book available now at amazon.com and also at comedyfilmnerds.com. And now I need to leave. I need to go and get ready to go to fucking Canada and go to Toronto. So I don't know what to pack. Actually, bullshit. I know exactly what to pack. I need to pack syrup. Wait. Actually, you guys have syrup up there. I probably don't need to pack that. Oh, that's fine. I need to pack snow. Hold on. Fuck. You guys have snow, right? Of course you do. God damn it. All right. Well, that's okay. I got to catch a plane in the morning. I just want to make sure that I got to pack all the round bacon I can find. Fuck. Hold on. You guys probably have round bacon up there, right? Of course. Oh, that's fine. I need hockey pucks and athletic tape. I need to put those. Oh, you know what? Fuck that. You guys will probably have those there, right? I probably don't need to put that in my... Because this is the stuff I bring to every city. Every city, I bring syrup, I bring snow, I bring athletic tape and hockey pucks. And, of course, I always bring round bacon. But it sounds like you guys are like my dream destination. Like you're going to actually have all of that stuff there for me. I don't even need to check a bag at this point. I can just show up with the clothes that I'm wearing and go ahead and do a show for you motherfuckers, because you have everything that I could possibly bring. Check that. Actually, I forgot. I'm supposed to bring some free health care. Which I need to make sure I pack up. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. You know what, son of a bitch? I think you guys had that up there for me too. Wherever I turn, you guys have what I need. Canada. How long have I been waiting to come up there and visit you? If it wasn't for the school buns full of fucking Geddy Lee and Poutine Pete and Maple Leaf McGillicuddy and Tom Berenger making fun of me the whole goddamn time, I would have been there a lot sooner. You know what? Fuck it. I got to get home. I got to pack. I got to make sure that I bring my curling gear. Wait, hold on. I could probably get that up there. Fuck. What else? I could stop by. Wait, you know what? I need to pack up a whole suitcase full of codeine. Wait a second. I could probably stop by Windsor, have the plane scooch over there. Fuck. What else can I bring? I know I got to pack. Oh, fuck. I forgot. Yeah, I got to get home because I definitely need to pack 5 extra yards of end zone for my football games. Wait, what? You guys? Oh my God, Canada. Land of dreams and hopes. Why have I avoided you for so long? Buy tickets, Toronto. Buy tickets. I'll be there shortly. because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go with this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus fuck. Hey, where are you going, boy?